Alright, well, I shall begin this sweet state then. So, hello everyone, and welcome to Sweet State 25, the second month where I've not been able to, well, there's no music obviously. The music that I had in mind is still not able to really be played, so, you know, maybe I'll find some replacement music somewhere down the line, but for now I'll just do without the music or introduction. So, for those who don't know what this is, seeing this for the first time, Sweet State is basically a monthly vlog style thing about the state of the channel, about myself, and mainly just about the channel really, and what's happening and what I have planned, etc, etc, etc. And of course you get to see my face in full and glorious full screen vision. And yes, I do have growing a beard again at the moment. So yeah, it's a bit earlier today than I would have normally done this, but I have to actually go out this afternoon and take care of some business, so I thought I would squeeze this in now. It does make me wish I could do these during the evening still, but again, I can't really do that at the moment. Perhaps in the future, I would happily do these in the evening when I have the most potential to be live with a lot more people, but for the time being, it has to be done during the day, you know. So, yeah. Anyway, I'll start by talking about my personal situations I usually do at the start of these. And thankfully, again, not too much to mention this time. Hey, Wild Tracer, how you doing? Good to see you. You've just come in at the start of the Sweet State, so good timing on your part. There with the emotes. So yeah, I'm still looking for a job. No surprise there. That may take a while. It won't be an easy process, even though I am now basically just applying for similar jobs like I used to have a year and a half ago. And oh, hey Ramdump, thanks for the raid. Hope you had a good stream there playing Hex Quest. No, not really. The care sector is always looking for people. Wild Tracer, it's not really an issue of quantity, it's more of a case of having the right quality. At least, hey Ramdump, I hope you enjoyed Hex Quest. Well, my old job that I had a year and a half, well, 2 years really, that was fired on the 10th of January 2019. I used to work as a teaching assistant for a private care company looking after children with autism, which is something I have a decent amount of experience in across many different jobs over the last decade. And due to some unpleasantness regarding that situation, which you'll, if you watch previous Sweet States, you'll get to hear about it a lot if you wish to do so, led me to consider my life options, and it turns out that I need to get back into it, just to get some money coming in, because I've not really been employed since a year and a half now. So I'm applying for a similar job. Now, there are a fair amount out there, but the problem is finding a good one. Obviously, I have to be careful not to fall for any of the part-time or bank traps of temporary labour. I'm looking for something full-time, permanent. And I have to make sure that the place that I'm applying for doesn't seem completely scummy. And it's just a case of getting in the door, really. I'm pretty sure my experience will get me in somewhere eventually. Unfortunately, with the last job I got to an interview for, they had better qualified candidates. And I think one thing that is probably going to change a little bit compared to how it used to be is that now everyone has to have this, they call it the MVQ level 3 in care, which is a qualification that everyone has to have. I don't possess that because I just never did, you know. In a few years ago, I was doing it, and then because I switched codes, as it were, from residential side to the education, I was denied the ability to finish that NVQ and get it in the bag, which was a bit shitty, really, because I'd done all the fucking work. I just didn't get it. Bit shit, really. And now everyone wants one. So there is a potential concern that although I have the experience, they might not take me just because I don't have this NVQ level 3. But I know that places are willing to take people on and get you that qualification if you work for them. So it shouldn't really be a problem for me, because, you know, if I say, like, hire me and I'll do the NVQ level 3, and we're in business. I have the experience to back it up. Do you need to have a CNA license? No. What the hell was a CNA license? No. The current barrier is an NVQ level 3. No. You don't need that. You need an NVQ level 3. I'm working in residential. If it's like a hospital, I think it's different. Might as well to upset a standard job if you really have to cash the 1 year out of work and more difficult. Yeah, I know. Trust me. I'm aware of how difficult it is to get employed, period. Now, to be fair, also, hi, Whitesnake, I have actually been in education for a while, but I see your point, of course. You know, I have been in education since last September, so yes, there was a period of time where I was off and not doing much because I was going through a mental breakdown of sorts at the time. But I've been in education for a while. I've only been out of it for, like, this will be the second month out of it, so I see your point. You know, if I stay unemployed for too long, it'll be a bigger question mark, and the answer is simply, I'm looking for work. But I see your point. I do need a job of some sort, and I'm trying to get one in the sector I have the most experience in. But the bottom line is, I think I'll just accept the next job that they give me, to some extent. I actually turned down a job because it was working with elderly people, because I realised my passion was working with children. In hindsight, I think I should have taken the job because at least it was guaranteed, but, you know, I'm trying to find something I want to work. Yeah, where else work? I know that. I should be able to get a job in what I used to go in. It's just a case of finding the right place and getting through the door. I don't think it will be an issue of experience, because that's been the biggest. Hey Dan Camel, how you doing? I think that's been the biggest problem for all the other attempts I've tried to do regards prior to this decision. Okay, for someone. Yeah, I mean, my thought process was, I want to go back into care, but I want to work with the elderly. So I apply for a couple of jobs. I get rejected from a few interviews because I don't have the experience. And the one time I do actually get in, I get told by another employer that I have more passion for working with kids. And it kind of comes across because all my answers are related to working with children with autism, not working with the elderly. So I rejected the one I had. But my mentality was I wanted to work with elderly people because it was less physically problematic, you know. But I guess my passion's not there, really. Plenty of work. People are used to be going to be out for too long. Yeah, I don't think that'll be a problem for me because the care sector's always hiring, Whitey Snakey. You know, if I really wanted to absolutely lower my standards, I could work, you know, in any one of them, really, because they'll just take on people with the experience, and I have plenty of that. They can just shoe in my NVQ. I have to be careful about the place I pick, but I do see your point. I definitely don't want to be having this conversation next year where I'm like still looking. I feel that I need to have found a job by the end of this year, and preferably as soon as possible, so I can get into the habit of working again, and also so I can adjust my streaming schedule and generally everything, you know. And I know that I'm getting to that stage now where, you know, I'm uncomfortably starting to end up becoming a NEET. I'm not trying to be a NEET. I'm trying to break out of it. And yeah. So basically, I'm now trying to get a job at what I used to do, and that will continue. Hopefully, next sweet state, again, I will have some success to report. I definitely need to have something by the end of the year, because I think if I'm still looking for a job into 2021, then there's either I'm not trying hard enough or there's a problem. Or it could just be that the job market is really that shitty, and I'm just going to have to struggle. I mean, a lot of people are going to struggle right now. I'm aware of what it's like looking for a job. Years ago, leaving university, it took me 2 years to get anything close to a proper job. It wasn't really all that proper. In hindsight, service economy. Yeah, plenty of jobs going if you want to not have commitment to hours, but I can't afford to have that. I need to have a full-time secure job. I mean, I am used to being banded around pillar to post. You know, I could probably work as an agency staff if I wanted to. I could just be this agency guy that goes into care homes and just acts as a sort of stand-in, you know. I mean, it's not the greatest existence and it's not the most stable, but I know that a lot of care companies hire agency staff when it's reputationally convenient to do so, because it's just so hard to keep the tide of labour constant. So if I really was desperate, I could apply for an agency staff job and just go into a million homes and just be this little stand-in. I'm not looking to do that, though, because there are some disadvantages to agency, and also it wouldn't be consistent hours, really. Although I'm aware of the fact that agency staff sometimes get hired permanently if they make a good impression. I could just approach it from that angle, you know. I'll work in a bunch of places and someone will take me on full time and I'll jump at the chance and that'll be me in. You know, they've seen me work. They don't have any questions over my quality after that point. But I'm not worried about it right now. With the way things are, it's not like I am economically fucked at this point. Again, because of all the changes I've made in the last few months, I am earning a tiny bit of money each month. Like, it's not a massive amount. Basically, I'm not bleeding money like I used to do for a year and a half after I was unemployed, where I was literally just pissing my money away on alcohol, really. And now I'm being really tight, you know. I'm being a lot more careful with the money. So I can afford to be patient for a little bit, but I do need to have a job by the end of the year, ideally, for various reasons, and I should secure something. You know, it's just a case of keep working, keep trying. But yeah, still job hunting. In regards to that, my weight continues to go down as well. My weight is dropping nicely. It's sort of sometimes going all up and down a bit, but it is starting to go down. And what has definitely helped last week was the fact that the gym is now reopened. And that is going to definitely help, because I have a pretty good daily exercise routine. He went from one design to pure support business technician, security manager. Now I'm going to warehouse work. Yeah, I may end up in a warehouse. Who knows? I may end up in one of those. Well, right now with the coronavirus, there'll be a lot of people looking for any kind of work right now, because a lot of jobs just stopped existing, and they ain't coming back. You know. One of the I'm so sorry, I want to go slightly political, although it's not really political because I'm in the sweet state. One of the things about I've said this before, but one of the things about the coronavirus, the long-term effects, is not just the people getting used to lockdown or the changes. It's the fact that a lot of jobs are about to be made non-existent. A lot of companies are going to realize I would say world economy. Pretty much world economy. The internet giants have made the tech giants have made absolute bang off this, and will continue to do so. They were already making plenty of bang. Now they've made more. They have kept things going. But I think, now, I know that what is going to happen is a lot of jobs are going to be, well, yeah, it is. I mean, they always need things delivered. It's not like we can go to the shops, but we can go to the shops, but it's very restrictive, and a lot of people are scared of catching the virus. So, stay at home and order off Amazon. It's easier. Everyone's done that. But I guess one thing to bear in mind is that with the coronavirus ongoing, a lot of jobs are being made redundant because companies are realizing they don't need to have that many people, around. I mean, it's not helping the fact that the businesses are. If I could do any job in the world, what would I do? What if I was able to do any job in the whole world? CEO of my own tech company. What? So I can be pillaged and make silly tweets? Nah, that'd be a lot of work. Nah, how about Twitch streamer? To be honest with you, if we're talking fantasy jobs, stuff I wish I could do as a full-time job, then honestly, yeah, I'd love to be a live streamer full-time. If we're talking in the realms of pure fantasy here, it would be probably a live streamer. But that's just in terms of pure fantasy, Obviously, more realistically speaking, it's never going to happen because I partially don't want to do that. But if we're talking like it's something I wish I could ever do, I wouldn't mind. Either that or be a manager of a care home for all kids with autism and help them out. That would be the other thing. But honestly, I wouldn't mind being a full-time live streamer, earning like £50,000 a year or something to live stream and entertain people. But again, that's just in the realms of pure fantasy, and I also have a passion for helping out children with autism as well and other things. So 50k. What is a fantasy, Evil Foamy? It is a fantasy, and I'm obviously not going to do that because, God, we're getting off track here already. It's important. Impression that Twitch will follow YouTube's and turn monetization. Possibly. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I don't think. In what regards do you mean to that way, Snaky? Following YouTube's in terms of monetization? You mean like? I don't think Twitch is a long-term strategy, to be fair. No, it's not. And that's also the reason why I don't go all in on live streaming, because it's a very volatile business. If you're looking at it in just, well, simple rum dump, I can't commit to streaming 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's my obstacle right there. Period. I don't want to sign anymore, it'd be too many. Yeah, absolutely. Twitch mirrors more community support. Yeah. God, there's so many questions I have to answer. We went on the first point. Okay, I'll address the monetization thing. I would agree with you, Whitey Snaky. The money, I would disagree up to a point. I think if you go into, I still think you can stand out on Twitch and YouTube still. It's just that it's not a common occurrence anymore. It's not an easy thing as it used to be like a decade ago, you know. If you want to make it big, you have to be ridiculously well talented and be willing to put up with a lot of stipulations and not relying on YouTube primarily for its money, but also relying on your Patreon supporters a lot. Other streamers are successful who don't stream 12 hours. What are they doing that makes them successful? Other streamers are successful? Well, the algorithm lottery. Yeah. I mean, if you're really good and you hit upon a certain audience, like what Suitepee does, you know, you make it off that. You know, Suitepee was a small channel and he grew out of because he hit an audience. And you gotta hit that audience, but you certainly can't rely on YouTube for any financial incentive. That's why every single YouTuber has Patreons. You know, people who fund them on the side. YouTube's simply just a delivery platform for your content. You know, how it used to be. Which is why all this... as a content creator attempting to bank off YouTube, it is difficult because you gotta be careful of the demonetizations or other things. But if you just use YouTube as a platform for just having a video up and you don't really care about the money aspect and you get that from elsewhere anyway, then YouTube's fine, I guess. But yeah, it's hard. You know, there's so many people, you gotta stand out in your own way, and it's tough because you have to apply a consistent schedule. You have to offer something that no one else can really offer, or be genuinely interesting in a way that not many others can offer. You know, I don't think I can provide that to some extent, and I'm not really trying to. You know, I'm still doing this for fun. And that's the thing. I do this for fun because, you know, I mean, don't get me wrong. I've just said to you right now, it would be a fantasy if I could do this as a full-time job. But the bottom line is if I did that, I'd have to be prepared to stop treating it as a fun little hobby. And I don't know if I don't know if I want to do that, is the thing. YouTube is good at making videos explode and monetize. Yeah. Who would have thought that? Yeah, I mean, that's why all the YouTubers have Patreons or alternate money sources, and that way it works, you know. YouTube just gets the views, and then they go to your Patreon and tip you some money. That's how it works nowadays. Which is why, you know, I mean, God forbid, I still remember a time when people just did stuff on YouTube for free. You know. Only video uploaded by user. Yeah, I guess. But yeah, Twitch treaters are more community supported, and I think that's why there's a bit of a difference in between Twitch and YouTube. In the case of YouTube and the DMCA stuff and the monetization, they can monetize a video on an ad, but how do you monetize a stream as it's happening? You know, you could probably monetize the VOD, but you can't really monetize the stream during, unless you have ad breaks, but the streamer controls those. So it's a bit of a difference. And I think that could cause a bit of a potential future problem regarding the DMCA stuff. You know, you can DMCA a highlight because YouTube is highlights and stuff like that. But how do you DMCA a live stream at the time? You know, do you just flag it so that as soon as someone plays licensed music, you kill the stream off? Or whatever? How does it work like that? It's a bit of a difficulty, you know. In terms of the whole agreement with the DMCA on, like, from what I understand on YouTube, it's like, if someone does licensed thing and it's not completely meant to be blocked, then it just means the creator can't make money, but you can still upload the video fine. But Twitch doesn't have the same thing because it's a streaming service. Primarily, and you can't offer that same compromise for a live stream, you know, so that's why it's going to be a problem for like my Saints Row 2 playthrough. You know, I may have to play those without music to prevent them from being muted. It's going to suck, but there's no compromise, you know. The alternative is I risk it and then suddenly you have muted commentary. you know. But yeah, that's a thing. Other streamers are successful who don't stream 12 hours. What are they doing to make them successful? Well, one thing, Rum Dump, is that some streamers are actually really good at the games they play. You know, speedrunners, competitive level players. Sing them while playing, you know. I don't know if I could do that for 30 hours per game. You know, you have people who are very good at the games that they play and they put the effort in. You have people who are speedrunners who put the effort in. That's how they get that. You know, they have and you have this sort of a niche. And the thing is, for me, is that I still treat this as just a fun little hobby that I do. And if I was to take it way more seriously, the first thing I would have to do is be able to stream more consistently. You know, I'd have to apply a proper schedule and stick to it and be able to keep streaming and not rage at dumb shit anymore like I do. And it would be a whole different mentality, Rum Dump. That's the thing. I don't really want to treat this as a job, at least not at the present time. Maybe 5 years in the future, when I have my own place, when I have a good economy coming in from my job, when I'm settled, maybe I can consider it then. Maybe. But the thing is that even 5 years later, I'd probably still like to be saying to you, yeah, it's a mentality shift. You know, well, when I do this, you know, I'm passionate about streaming, otherwise I wouldn't have been doing it for 11 fucking years. But it's different to simple. This is not my fucking house. This ain't my house, Rum Dump. Simple as that. You know, if I want to stick to a normal schedule, I have to be able to say I can sit in front of my computer at this time every week. I can't do that. Things happen. I might want to go out one day. I might not be able to because of family business another day, you know. I'm supposed to be doing this, I'm supposed to be doing that. I have something of a schedule now, but it's not one I set in stone because I can't commit to it, you know. And that's the biggest thing. This isn't my house. I cannot stream when I want to. You saw me during last week, you know, when my mum wasn't here, when I had the house to myself, when I was streaming twice a day for 3 days in a row. You know, not that would be the normal standard, but if I had my own house and I wasn't at work on a particular day, that kind of stream might become the new sort of standard, you know. I mean, in my prime, and we're talking 2009 to 2011, say, it wasn't uncommon for me to stream 3 times in a day. You know, 3 times. This is back when I barely had a job. You know, I had a job that paid a little tiny bit and every other minute was spent streaming, you know. And it probably wasn't the healthiest thing because, you know, it was my massive dose of escapism at the time. But the point is, I could stream more than once a day if I wanted to. If I was given the opportunity to do so, you know. And with the amount of stuff I have to get on with, it would be nice to be able to do that. You know, be able to stream twice in a day for 4-hour slots. Not necessarily like do a marathon 8 to 10 hour stream, but I could do it like in 4-hour slots, you know. That's the kind of thing I could probably offer when I have my own place more regularly, you know. There might be days where I just decide, you know what, today I'm just going to stream for 12 hours in 3 different times. You know, have an hour's break in between and get it all done. I might choose to do that. But that'll just be done for fun. You know. It'll just be a mentality shift, you know. It will be a huge mentality shift to go, right, I have to stream today because it's my job now. You know, I have to stream in front of people even if I don't feel in the best of moods, even if I don't want to actually fucking stream. Like last night, after I took care of some family business, you know, I couldn't just say, sorry everyone, well, that's what it takes, and that's why I don't want to do it. Because, at least not until I get my own place. Tell you what, when I get my own place, we will have a discussion about this. Because when I get my own place, I can dictate the rules, I can decide when I want to stream, and maybe then I'll have a different mentality. You know, I'll be thinner, healthier, wealthier, and maybe I'll decide, fuck it, I'll give it a try for a year. But until then, I cannot do that. And a biggest part of it is, even if I got to that stage, it is simply a mentality shift. You know, treating your live streaming like a full-time job means that you have to commit to streaming every single day as much as possible, and you have to always be in the mood to stream. You can't just take a day off, because if you do that, everyone else gets an extra day on you. You know, you are your own boss, and that means you have to be very good at consistently streaming good quality stuff that people are willing to pay for. That will be what it would be like. And then I would no longer be just looking for playing stuff for fun. I'd be looking to play stuff that the people wanted to see, so I have the most chance to make money. And that would be different. Yeah, but then you have a different problem. If you start, that's why I don't want to really discuss politics on this channel. Partly because I'm ill-informed about many things, and partly because once you go down that rabbit hole, you tend to invite some pretty awkward conversations. I feel like a dream job rather than a regular job. I don't play games like I don't want to play in my dream job. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, you know, you've got a better streaming attitude than me, and also the ability to actually do that. I don't. I can't. Yet. You know, you have your own place, I don't. But that will be the mentality. And I've mentioned this before, and I gotta mention it again. You know, if I was treating this as a job, I have to focus on making people happy. I have to focus on getting people to pay me. Simple. So if a stream of a game was particularly doing terribly, I'd have to maybe drop it, because I'm not getting the views, I'm not getting the stuff. You know, your income would become my lifeblood, and then it would just be a case of I need to guarantee the next paycheck, I need to guarantee the next payout. So what do? You know, quite frankly, at the moment, if I was to treat this as a full-time job, I'd probably just play Doom all day. Because everyone comes for Doom. Doom has the highest amount of views on the channel. I play Doom, everyone comes and watches. You know, that will be the mentality. It couldn't just be a case of, oh, I could play Doom and some other games because I want to sort of do 50-50. It'll be a case of which one makes the most money, which one brings in the most views, which one gets the most cash. And the answer would probably be playing Doom stuff, playing FPS stuff, and very little else. And then it will just be a case of continuing to do that, you know, because I need the people to pay me the 500 bits every time I stream, and I need about 20 of those. Yeah. But that would be if I treated this as a full-time job. And maybe someday I would be able to do that. I'm not ruling it out. I'm not saying that John Suitepee will never ever become a full-time live streamer that will attempt to do something. I'm just saying at the moment it's not viable, and it would require a huge shift in my mentality, and I don't know if I'd ever want to make that jump. Playing all Fortnite clones. Music games you want to play, people want to play, people want to see. Well, I'm trying to get through my list of games right now, you know. So, you know, God, I feel like I'm just going on tangent here. No, I want to be a streamer, but not a full-time streamer. I don't want to treat this like a job. Hey, Wen, how's it going? What about being a director of a House of Autism? Well, I have to get back into the care job first. That's the first step, is to get back into employment and then maybe work my way up to management, which is something I might do. You know, I mean, getting into high positions these days, no, it isn't. You know, the way I would have to do it is I'd have to get into a house, work there for a few years, and then I'd have to work my way into management and then get up the ladder. You know, that requires me to stay at a single place for probably 5 years to get chummy with everyone. You know, and make sure it's not a place that already has a cliquey management system where they're all friends with each other, which is what I've encountered in the past. You know, if I'm not in the clique, then I don't get in, period, and I end up just outside. But if I get that will be like in a few years when I hopefully am in a place and I'm working on the stuff. But yeah, I mean, that's how I got fired from my previous job. I was part of I was in the in-group for the previous group. We were all cool. And new people took over. They started hiring more and more of their own people. And they kicked out all the old crew. You know, lots of the old staff left over time. I saw the writing on the wall myself. So I started to prepare for getting out. Unfortunately, I had a breakdown and got fired before I was ready prematurely. You know, I knew I was going to leave that place eventually. I was working towards a different MBQ to get out. And as soon as I got it, I was going. So I knew that they wouldn't want all the old staff there, and now none of the old staff are left, and they've got all their old friends in. Which is great if you're in that group, because then you can do whatever the hell you want. But if you're not in the group, you know, it's a pretty big club, and you're not in it, as George Carlin would say. Yeah, it's who you know. And that's why you got to get into a place and really weasel your way in over several years. Become a reliable anchor. Get in the in club, and then you can jump the ranks. That's how it works. Yes. So, in summary, you know, maybe in the future I will revisit the whole do I want to do live streaming more seriously aspect. Because in the future I'll be able to actually attempt it. Oh, of course. Why do you think the care sector continues to hire people? There's a constant tide of labor that just goes from place to place to place to place. They always have staff problems because people stay for a few months and leave. You know, they don't like it, they go somewhere else. You have a constant tide of people moving in and out and in and out. And there's a few people who stick around, but the majority of it is disposable temporary labor. And yeah, you get all their pals in, and then you gotta do what they say, and if you don't agree with you, they find a way to get rid of you. And that's what happened to me. I didn't help my case, but they find a way to get rid of people they don't want. That's what I'm going to avoid, hopefully. That's why I have to be extra careful in what I act and do and say. And I certainly know if I go to another care company and I see that kind of thing happening again, I would already be preparing to find another job immediately, because I could see the writing on the wall, because I don't know if I'd be willing to suck up. So yeah, in summary, well, yeah, but that's true, but at least then you've had a year of money coming in. You know, it'd be a case of keep your head down, do your job, and don't complain too much. That's kind of what I'd be doing. Especially in modern days, it pays to just do your job and go home. That is the mentality I'd be adopting, honestly, when I get one of these jobs. You know, I will do my job well, and then I would just go home, because it's just it's just a means to an end, so I can come home and do this, which is what I actually care about a bit more. No, true, but if you don't kick up too much of a ruckus, then the process is delayed, you know. If you're the one that complains about management all the time, they'll come for you straight away. If you sort of just blend into the background. It'll take them a bit longer to notice, by which time you've earned a year's pay. And you also know the scope of the land, so you can plan your exit, you know. If that was to happen again, you know, I would recognize the signs a hell of a lot quicker, and I'd be like, right, I need to leave this job today, and I'm going to leave. I'm not sticking around because they're going to fire me. All right then, Rom Dump, thanks for popping on by and for the host, and I'll see you later. So yeah, in summary, to all the points we just said, you know, being a full-time live streamer is not something I can seriously consider at this moment in time due to the fact I do not own my own place. When that happens, I will have that discussion. I don't want politics really on the channel for interest because it leads to hot divisions, and quite frankly, society is divided enough as it is right now. I don't need any more fuel from ill-informed common citizens. And the weight's going down, and I'm going back to the gym. The gym's back, so I can lose weight. Yay! Holy shit, that was a long tangent. You know? That's what happens on these sweet states. The tangents took a way to vent off my points. No, but I mind that, you know? It's like an open discussion about things. You know? Hey Depop, how's it going? And again, I can also say there is always a part of me that has always considered taking streaming more seriously. So never rule out the possibility that in a year or so's time I might sit down and say, okay guys, today I'm going to try to make this work a bit better. You know? So never rule it out that one day I might wake up and try and be the next dying camel. You know, full time, trying my best to make as much money as possible while not compromising my integrity or doing things for the sake of it. You know, if I was to take this more seriously, I probably wouldn't change too much. In terms, you know, I would change obviously the whole not raging at dumb shit, but I wouldn't like chase trends or do shit like that, you know. I'd like to think that over time I would, you know, GSP, I think you got 2 decent honors in most workplaces. Yeah, exactly. And, you know, the main thing as a streamer is that you have an audience. Yeah, that could be a problem by making too decent and honest. I have to go into a sector that doesn't necessarily thrive on either of those elements, but anyway. Obviously there's plenty of good people out there in the care sector, but they're not managers. The main thing as a streamer is you have to have an audience of people. It does, but it's better in the long term, you know? It's better in the long term. And there are always ways to be this is why game XYZ sucks might be successful, though. That requires effort. I would have to get into video editing for that, and I've never been the greatest editor. You know, my editing skills extend to Windows Movie Maker in the past, which is no longer an option on Windows 10 really, so I'd have to learn a proper editor. But I'm not really down for that kind of thing, you know. I like to stream and that's it. I'm not really an editor. Gets watched quite a lot, I know, but that's been going for years and that's there, you know. But as I was saying, the main thing as a streamer that you crave is an audience of people, you know. That's why you do it in the first place. You're not just streaming just to, you know, record yourself playing a video game. You're looking for an audience. Yeah, I used to like Windows Movie Maker. It was basic stuff, but I didn't mind it. as a streamer, you want an audience. You want people to come in and talk with you and talk about game stuff and various other shit while you play. You know, that is what every streamer really strives for, a solid audience of people. And I have to be honest, I have that audience. And I've had it for a few years, really. You know, I had it on Dope Lives when I was streaming in front of 200 people at its peak, and I have it here where I'm streaming to 40 or 50 people at a peak, doing the Doom stuff mainly. You know, I have a good audience of people that I've built up over the years just by doing stuff and being nice and whatever it is that attracts people to watch me for 3 hours. I have that audience, and I'm very grateful for your constant showing up and spending time with this 34-year-old autistic baby of sorts. And I'm always very grateful for that. And the one thing I don't want to do is, if I ever did take this full-time seriously, I'd never want to get to the point where I take it for granted. You know, where I'm like, I start a stream and I'm like, right, I want 50 viewers and 10 subs today. I need some fucking money, guys. I need to donate now. Bits. Give me the bits. You know, it's been 2 days. I have streamed 20 hours in 2 days, and not one of you has donated. It's fucking terrible, guys. Come on. I need money. I've worked my ass off. I need those bits. I need those donations. I need those subs. You know, to the point where you take your audience for granted, where you get annoyed when they ain't paying you, because that's part of what could happen. You know, when I treat my audience like a bunch of pay piggies. Come on, pay piggies. Come on. Give me your money. It's only $5 a month. You know, give me some fucking cash. You goddamn pay piggies. Story of your life. I'd never want to do that. Right. And the thing is, as a full-time live streamer, you would have to think that way to some extent. You don't necessarily have to give up your values, but you have to think of it that way. You have to think of your audience as a commodity. How can I get that commodity to pay me? How can I get that commodity to subscribe, to bits, to PayPal donate? What would I do to get that commodity to pay me? That'll be a difference, because, you know, you would become my live income. You would become my source of revenue. And then I'd have to please that source of revenue into paying me. What have you found? The money came from people on the job seekers. Job seekers allowance doesn't really exist anymore. It's universal credit now. I mean, that's the universal credit that's what I'm on at the moment. But yeah, some people do that probably. You know, they're on some kind of JSA or whatnot, and they do pay these channels because they want to support the entertainment. You know, I mean, if they can viably do that, if they have enough money to live, if they have enough money to live comfortably within their current means, then there's nothing wrong if people want to donate a little bit of money to someone that they watch regularly, you know. But if they're doing it out of like a psychological habit, you know, then it's a bit more of a problem. You know, if they're doing it and they are stretching their money, if like they're getting their paycheck and then they're spending £200 of that on you every month, and it's really taxing their finances, but they feel they have to support their favorite streamer, then that's not cool. You know, that shouldn't really be encouraged at all. You know, I'd feel pretty bad if someone gave me like, what would the equivalent in bits be for £200? It'd be 20,000 bits, wouldn't it? Is that right? Yeah, 20,000 bits, and it turns out that 20,000, that £200, that 20,000, well, actually it'd be more than £200 because of the exchange rate and the cut that Twitch takes. But, you know, they took that £200 odd and converted it into bits. You know, I'd feel a bit bad if that was the last 200 for the month and they had to now go the rest of the month without having the luxuries of cash because they overcommitted to supporting the streamer. I just pay so you can buy better games than what Drow could donate. Oh, you know, well, I'm not really going to be buying a lot of games at the moment. I mean, the only games I'm currently going to be buying in the future is Amnesia Rebirth. That's later this year. But because I have so many games to get on with, I don't need to actually buy any at the moment. There's a bunch of random words. It's better. Yeah. It depends on the game, I suppose. But yeah, I would not want people to donate to me that can't afford to do so. You know, that's why it's always optional. You know, that's why I stopped doing the donation targets. You know, I felt that was interesting for a little bit, but I decided not to bother unless it's for something that I actually need and I actually need your help with. You know, otherwise it's just if I can afford it myself, I can do that. You know, I mean, to give you an example of that, I actually had some words with Lord Misfits, who is one of my regular donators. You know, he has donated quite a few games. He constantly gives bits to the channel. I actually had a few Discord messages with Lord Misfit. I think it was 2 weeks ago, where I basically asked him if he was okay spending all this money, because sometimes he gives quite a bit. You know, it's like a regular trickle. It's not a massive amount. It's not like he's doing £200 every stream or something. But it is regular enough to the point where I'm asking, like, okay, can you afford to do this? Because you do give quite a lot sometimes, relatively speaking. And I wanted to make sure that he wasn't like, you know, because I also know that he has other things, like he gives a Patreon to Civvy, for instance. He's on the credits on every Civvy video. He just stingy with bits. Yeah, fair enough. But I actually checked with him to see if he was okay spending it, because a lot of you will know that he spends quite a fair amount of bits, and I appreciate that. But I wanted to make sure that he wasn't like feeling compelled to do so. You know, like I didn't want to think of him as this whale who was like, he feels like he has to donate every stream to get in. It's like, you don't have to do that if you can't afford to. Now, luckily, in Lord Misfit's case, he is more than capable of actually. Picture on my back. Why makes you say that, deep, Bob? In the case of Lord Misfit, luckily he can afford to do that. So that eases my conscience and also ensures that, you know, every time he does donate, it's because he wants to and not because he feels forced to do so or because he feels like he has to do that. Because I have never ever said at any point, you know, I have said, sure, I appreciate the support, but it's never a mandatory option. It is never a forced thing, you know. And although it may sound like I'm trying to be psychologically manipulative by saying, like, well, things are looking a bit tough, you know, it's never the case. It is not the intention. It is merely to be honest. The support is optional. It is always just optional. You know, I'm just happy if you show up and talk on the stream for a while. That's all that I really care about. You know, I mean, I've streamed on here for years without financial incentive. I've streamed for years on Dopewibs without financial incentive. And granted, it you know, it is a bit different thinking about it now as a streamer as it was 2 years ago when I wasn't even an affiliate. You know, I do consider this kind of stuff now, but I have to keep grounded, you know. And that's why I will always say that subscribing, bits, and PayPal donations are entirely optional. I don't need any of them. I'm not in a position right now where I need that money coming in. And what I don't want to do really in the future is be in a position when I would like to not be in a position where I have to actually say that is the case. I mean, and I don't know what the worst case scenario might be, and trust me, I would only ever be begging if I really, really did need it. Like if I didn't get it, I wouldn't be able to do anything anymore. But hopefully that will never happen. Oh, okay. Well, that doesn't sound good. So, that's the kind of person I am. I want to make sure that when people are donating and giving stuff that they're doing so willingly and they're not feeling like it's a compulsory requirement, I more would, I'm just happy if you show up and talk in my stream for a bit while I'm playing a game. That makes me happy enough. So, and as a full-time streamer, I would have to change that mentality a bit. I have to try and coax you to pay me a bit more. But I don't really want to do that. I do this for fun, and I want to keep that as long as I can. Honest truth, That's why I want to get a secure job so I don't have to worry about it. Then I can just do this and have fun and do what I need to do. So, yeah, that's never going to change. God, this water tastes good. Patreon is one of those go broke companies. Can't really comment on that. So, yeah. Now that being said, at the moment, with the I have received 8 months into the year now, and I've received Twitch payouts for 6 out of 7 of the months of the year so far. I got another payout last month, so your support is helping. It definitely does help give me a little extra money every month. So I do appreciate the support when people do subscribe and send bits and stuff like that. It definitely helps. But it is by no means, and nor should it ever really be, and I hope it never ever becomes a compulsory thing. I hope it's always optional and stays that way forever. So, moving on, and in typical fashion, a personal situation spreads to a fucking hour. Because I go off on all these tangents about, streaming philosophy and money and future plans and shit. So some of you will probably know, I announced last month that I said I was going to focus on other games for the rest of the year. Do I actually have a picture of my list? No, I don't. Actually, I need to update that list. Give me a sec here to generate it. Sorry about this. I did not plan this out. Whoa, pause that. Oh, why is it online now? Oh, cool. That actually helps. I can put this into one little thing. That helps. Give me a sec here to save this video as a thing. I'll just save that. Okay, cool. Oh, there we go. The Socrates of our time. No, I don't think that's the case. Oh god, that's a... Oh, that's video. Hey, there we go. Oh, I need to bump it up. Hold on, bump. There we go. That should do it. So yeah, this is a snapshot of the other games list as it stands at the moment. There's a few less from last month. Nice to whittle quite a few down. So yeah, I said last month that I'm going to be at the start of last month that I'm going to be focusing more on other games for the rest of the year. As you can see there, aside from Panophobia, which may never ever get finished, I have a lot of fucking games to play from both Drauken's list and the other lists. And basically I have decided to close off any further submissions to either of those lists until the current ones are completed. And that is what I'm going to be focusing on for the rest of the year. You know, I will be focusing on getting those lists shrunk down, get rid of as many as possible. It's probably it is going to spread over into next year because some of those are quite lengthy requests. You can see there, I mean, I'm playing Dragon Quest Heroes 1 at the moment. That's going to be lengthy. I've got to play the sequel. You got Age of Empires Definitive Edition, which might take about 6 billion years to complete. Final Fantasy 9, of course. I don't know what Suitepee is lengthwise. You got the Saints Row series, and then you've got I think the Letter's quite lengthy as well. I don't know about the Zero Escape games. They might be a bit lengthy. I mean, there's a lot of shorter-ish games on there, but there's a few lengthy ones too. But yeah, I mean, last year I focused on my Doom WOD list. You remember last year that I had a massive Doom WOD list because I wasn't really playing them. You know, I was too distracted on playing other things, and I whittled that list down to 1. I did really good at getting it knuckled down, and you know, getting it down to 1. And that's what I want to do with the other game lists. I want to get rid of these huge lists that have been here for way too fucking long. You know, I mean, the Drauken ones haven't been. They were added like a few months ago so that I could have a compilation of all of his stuff. But I want to get these lists. I want to play these games because these are all more or less gifts now. You know, the only one that isn't a gift is Sin. Everything else is a gift, you know. Lord Misfit, David Irving, Chris KO7960, Mia Pineapple, Nepsnide, Anonymous Gifter, and then Drauken with his ridiculous generosity over the years. So, I think you can understand I've got a lot to do. And that's why I want to focus on it, you know. It might mean, which means that there's not going to be a lot of Doom stuff for the rest of the year. There are some WODs I want to play. You know, you've probably seen a few of them in a previous... I've talked about them, you know, like... I've got the list up here. You know, like Devil's Grip, the Omega Project 2019, Dying Camel Demons Free, Free as a Crowd, Spooktober, Shrine... And I even picked up another one that sounds interesting in Steve Was Slain, which is a Minecraft themed Mega WOD, which sounds interesting. Bastion of Chaos, nothing else on the list. But I'm basically only going to play Doom stuff. That is the Iron Mans. The Iron Mans for this month are out now, by the way. For both Iron Eagle and Iron Man. So I'll be doing those after Dragon Quest Heroes is finished. That's the current plan. Play testing streams and exceptional releases. You know, that's going to be the rule for a while. You know, at least for the rest of this year and possibly going into next. Basically, I'm only going to play Doom for the monthly Iron Mans, at least one monthly playtest, and exceptional releases. And of course, in November and December, it will be Doom map time. You know, lots of Doom mapping then. That will be probably the majority of my content for Doom-wise in those 2 months. But, you know, I know a lot of you do come here to watch the Doom stuff, but I've had a year to focus on nothing but Doom stuff. And now this is the other half of the year where I'm going to focus on the other games. So there's still a good amount of FPSs in there. You know, you've got Project Warlock, Sin, Battlefront 2, Kingpin, Redneck Rampage, Maximum Action when it's finished, Strafe, Wrath, and Ruin. So there's plenty of, and System Shock, I suppose. Plenty of FPS games in there. But for a while, I trust you can all understand that I don't want this big list here anymore. So that's going to be the rule for the rest of the year, and possibly going to go into 2021. I will have a discussion about that next year. I have said that we'd have a discussion about the Doom WOD requests at the start of next year, see how many of the games I've got through. Hopefully this list will be half the size by then. I'm going to try and spread out the longer ones, but hopefully there'll be a lot less games on the list by then, and then we can have another discussion about it. But basically, you're going to see these games and not much else aside from the monthly Doom things. You think the only game that might be decent with Final Fantasy 9. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to playing that, but it's just it would be a very lengthy. I might be saving that among the last, partly because I might. I plan on putting some stuff in around that, so it's not just Final Fantasy 9 for 2 months straight. I'm gonna have some little things around that, so that one's gonna be a while off because I gotta commit a serious amount of time to that one and plan it a bit. Hey, Tourniquet, how you doing, by the way? So, yeah, that's what's going to happen, Less Doom stuff, more of the game stuff. But I haven't forgot about Doom. Exceptional releases, play testing, Iron Man, and mapping for last 2 months of the year. So, yeah. And in relation to this as well, I am also going to be potentially adopting a different approach to request in the future, which I will also discuss next year in January. I think we'll have to have a discussion about that in general once the other game lists are shrunk down a bit. So I don't think I will. Why, Snakey? There's too many things in Doom I enjoy playing. I'm aware that it's the main thing people come here for, and I enjoy Doom stuff, and there's still things I want to play. I'm not tired of Doom. There's plenty of content for me to look forward to. But I'm not going to be in 12 hours. It's probably going to take me about 90 to 100, depending on how well I handle a JRPG. So I am thinking of adopting a different approach to request in the future. The main thing that I want to avoid, and I can sort of say this now without having a definitive plan for the. So I should shrink that a bit. Actually, let me do that. The main thing I want to avoid in the future is having a big list like this. I really want to avoid having these big lists that are just there for years upon end without being finished properly, because I think that's like psychological clutter. I've already played Holy Hell. You can Google Twitch search John Suitepee Holy Hell, and you can find both parts of that. Holy Hell was a journey. Yeah, I played Holy Hell. 2 parts, took me about 8 hours, was a hell of a journey. I kind of liked Holy Hell for its ridiculous length to some extent, but it was really tedious. And the ending was just a pain in the ass. I fucking hate that last room. Not least because it crashed my computer once. But it was interesting enough, I guess. But yeah, in the future, I don't want big lists like this that just don't get done for years, because that's been the big problem I've had in the past. These requests, they've not all just arrived like in the last few months. I've had some of these for years. And prior to me starting to focus on it more, I had a lot more, like the Unreal games, Thief, all kinds of stuff, but the Marathon. I mean, I had the friggin' Marathon trilogy on that list since very early on in this channel's existence. It took me 7 years to get around to playing that request by Penix Killer. I don't want that in the future, I want the requests in the future to be done in a timely manner so that they're not psychologically being a massive clutter like they are now. So that is going to be part of my thinking when I have some potential changes in mind for how I handle requests of both Doom WODs and other games in the future. But I will talk about these more next year, because I need to get the list done first, and then we can have that conversation. But just getting you all into the loop that is something that I have in mind. Yeah. But it's something to bear in mind that this streamer doesn't want big ass fucking list anymore. I don't want the psychological clutter. So, yeah. Another thing I have to mention here is just a brief point about the DMCA changes. I have said I was going to sort of be adopting the canary in the coal mine approach to that. I can say so far that I've not had too many problems at the moment. There's only really been two things that I have noticed that have been throw the PC out the window, psychological clutter sorted. Beware of Weather Suit Rally 7, the funniest game of all time. Well, yeah, I mean, I have adopted a minimalist approach to things. I've got rid of so much clutter, both physical and otherwise, and for me, just having all these projects to do is like psychological clutter. You know, I like to do projects, have a few maybe going at once, and then get them all done, you know, instead of having like a list. You know, I like the minimalistic approach to things. You know, it's helped. Yeah, I mean, I've talked about this in regards to physical stuff. Like several years ago when I moved house, prior to me starting these sweet states, I used to have so much clutter, you know, old video game boxes, comics, a shitload of things I never used. And then one day I just said, I don't know, I can't remember what the exact impetus was for getting rid of them, but I just remember, I think it was because we were moving and I didn't want to have to take as much stuff to the new house. And I just thought, what do I actually need? And I got rid of so many things, so much junk, you know, stuff that I had hoarded for years. And I realized, I don't need this, I don't need that, I don't want that. What's the point in keeping all these? So I gave away stuff to charity, you know, stuff that was viably stuff. Anything else I just got rid of, and I've never looked back, you know. All this clutter, it just builds up, you know. You have too many things to look after, and storage boxes, and just things you want to do, you know. And I like to sort of minimalize stuff, you know. When I get my own place, I'm probably going to have very few things in it, but all the things that are going to be in it are going to be actually used. You know, it's going to be handy shit. But then you have that moment of sitting in a blank room. Yeah, I'm not going to go really crazy on that front. You know, obviously there would be things in the background, but the thing is I won't be getting them just for the sake of having some decoration. You know, it would be like, I don't know, maybe I'd get I would probably at some point in my own place get like a picture of the Doom poster or something, or stuff like that, you know. You gotta have a few things around, but you don't have to go crazy. You know, there's a lot of stuff that's just not used, that's not useful, you know. Poster of Fuzzball. I don't actually have any pictures of Fuzzball, so that'd be hard. But no, I won't want a picture of Fuzzball. That'd just be odd. Oh, a picture of Whitey Snakey somewhere, White Snake, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, but I like that minimalistic approach to things. You know, it means that I've taken care of a lot of stuff that I've just hoarded and I don't need and I don't use. I mean, hey, Corn King, how about half a peeled corn chop? No. I mean, recently, I even got rid of all my CDs. I had a ton of CDs for ages, and I just decided I don't even listen to my CDs anymore. If I listen to music, it's digital now. So I gave all my CDs to a charity shop, you know, because I don't listen to any of them. Any music I do listen to nowadays, it's on a YouTube. You know, I YouTube what I want to listen to. You know, if I'm at the gym, I just take my phone and I listen to an album. Yes, I have to deal with fucking ads. It sucks. There's no mobile phone ad block for YouTube, but the problem is when you have no money company in the digital services get out to keep and you are left with nothing. What? The problem is when you have no money company in the digital services get harder to keep and you are left with nothing. A depressive. The problem is when you have no money coming in, more money coming in company in the digital services get harder to keep and you are left with nothing in a depressive state. You mean like being able to afford the internet and stuff like that? Well, yeah. Well, of course. I mean, if you have no money coming in, it's harder to have the upkeep for stuff. There's a mobile browser with pre-built adblock, but surprise, surprise, it's called Adblock Browser. Would that work on an Apple phone, though, I wonder? I mean, I have a YouTube app, so it goes through that. Adblock Browser. I'll make a note of that. Thanks, Conking. I might look into that after. All these services. YouTube Advanced. There's a YouTube app with YouTube Advanced. Alright, I'll look into those afterwards. Thanks, guys. Yeah, that's true. YouTube has the YouTube Premium with no ads and stuff. I'd never do that. I can tolerate the ads. I put up with them. But if there's an option to not have to do that, then great. I'd love it. It would make listening to the albums a lot easier because that's usually where the YouTube ads come in. It's like you play 2 or 3 songs and it's like, hey, would you like to buy YouTube Premium? No, I'd like to get back to listening to my song, thanks. No, not really, but I don't listen to ASMR videos, workouts. It's mainly just music albums or the occasional content creator's video. But yeah, the point is I got rid of all my CDs. Adblock. Yeah, I know about Adblock. I use Adblock on my computer, this computer. It's great. I could barely tolerate to use YouTube on anything without Adblock. It's disgusting, the difference. But yeah, I got rid of all my CDs and I like to get rid of the clutter. But getting back to what I was wanting to mention about the DMCA stuff, I've only had I hate it when ads into them now. Not a single ad. They tend to pick with 3 or 4. It just tends to be 1. Sometimes it goes on for a while, but I've never had it 3 or 4 in a... Oh, you mean like spread out? Yeah, spread out across an album, fair enough. I mean, I sometimes have it where it's like 4-minute videos of each track, so it's not as disruptive. But I see what you mean, yeah. Like, if you have like a massive 1-hour video, the ads can go all over the place. Ubook Origin, yeah, I've heard of that as well. Probably should reinstall that. I only have Adblock, I think, at the moment, not the uBlock Origin. I'll have to reinstall that, I think. Be nice to block the Twitch ads. Yeah. That's true. But yeah, I've only really had 2 problems with the DMC, with the muting on YouTube, Twitch, in the last month since I last talked about the So the first thing that I note, the first time it was muted was during a Command and Conquer Red Alert the playthrough. There's one point in so I can find the video actually so I can show you what I mean. Oh wow, it is actually in the list here. Is that this point? No, that's not it. Oh wow, 44 people for the Baron song. Nice. Is that really all we have? Hold on, let me just check something here. I might have to scroll down. Yeah, expiring. Oh, what the hell? Oh no, that's just the intro of the song, so that's fine. Whatever. Oh, does it not show it? I'm sure there was one where it was like muted at one point. I can't find it, and it's take too long to search. But yeah, there was one point during a Red Alert stream where apparently it muted the in-game song when I went for a break at one point, I think, where I just had the music playing by itself when I took a little piss break. I think it muted that part for some reason. If you just play it by itself, which was a bit odd. It might not actually have shown up on the highlight, but it was on the past broadcast. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was the deal, actually. I think it showed up on the past broadcast, the immediate recording, like it muted that part, but where I wasn't talking and there was just the in-game music. But then on the highlight, I think it just didn't occur, which is weird. Like it muted the fucking, just the music, the in-game music. You know, the Frank Kilpacky track, just playing by itself with no interruptions from my commentary. I only muted that part, which is a bit weird. And the only other thing was the MDK end credits, you know, that I played last week. Obviously, the song of choice for that was super not allowed, to the point where not only was it muted on Twitch, it was also blocked on YouTube. The entire video was completely blocked. And unless I got rid of it, I wasn't able to upload it. So what I had to do with that was I just cut it out of the YouTube upload, but it's still on Twitch. The highlight's still on Twitch, but the ending is completely muted. So I guess in the case of some tracks, the ones that really, really aren't allowed in any capacity whatsoever, even though the whole time I was listening to the French pop music video, I was talking, so it wouldn't have been a consistently good thing, it still muted it. And the problem is that it fucking mutes it for like way too long after it's finished as well, which is annoying. Like, it'll mute it as soon as it starts, and then after it's finished, it seems to have like a minute or two where it keeps muting until it's cleared or something. So but that was because it was a song that was banned on YouTube anyway. Like, I couldn't even get the video uploaded. Like, most of the time, not really. I hate that shit when you're watching a playlist and it's a playlist of stuff. Oh, half the videos are deleted or non-existent. But yeah, like most of the time when I upload YouTube stuff, it just gets copyright claimed, which means I get no money. I don't care. I don't make money off YouTube. But on rare occurrence, it gets blocked because it's a song that you absolutely cannot play on YouTube. And I think that's what it was. It was just one of those very rare instances. Now, hopefully, this isn't going to become more of a regular thing where you start seeing more and more and more and more of them be struck off. Since, again, YouTube has this compromise and Twitch, I don't think they can offer the same one. But that's the only problems I've had with the muting so far. Thankfully, muting on Twitch still remains a very rare problem for me. But obviously I'm not trying to play music stuff. I mean, the only other muting that has occurred is when I played Bad Boys at the start of the Autobahn Police Simulator, but that has been cut off the highlight anyway, so it's not an issue. But it is muted on the past broadcast, which is probably to be deleted in a few days. So, YouTube, you've been demonetized. Yeah, a bit of a problem if you're a content creator, but not a problem for me because I don't care. I make my money off Twitch. And people like yourselves. And by the way, no one's donated yet. The bits is empty. Look at those bits. You can be the number one for the week with 1 bit. You know, Lord Misfit usually takes that spot, and you've got a chance to get your name in lights for a couple of hours. She was a dumping ground for you garbage. Oh my god, it worked! Dying Camel has donated! Woo! I could stream for another 3 hours now. Thanks for the 50 bits, Camel. Now your name is in the lights for the week. You are the number 1 bit donator for the week. You get lots and lots of kudos time. I mean, you'll probably be replaced later, but for a few hours at least, you are the number 1. So that's really it so far. I mean, if anything drastic starts to happen in regards to the uploads, I would let you all know. You'd probably learn about it because I'd probably mention it on my Twitter or Discord or whatever. Stream goal's been reached. Bye. 50 bits. Stream's over. Good night, everyone. Alright, I'm back. I'm greedy. I want more. Pride Lion. Oh, that's a cool emote. I feel like a smug emote for a second there. So hopefully that will remain the case. I mean, every now and then something will get muted for a few minutes, but it should be a rare occurrence. And again, I'm going to avoid playing licensed tracks, which is going to mean that, again, certain games are going to be a bit problematic in regards to the licensed music. I am aware that Redneck Rampage may also be a game that suffers from this, because I think they use licensed music. I don't know if it's going to be a problem or not. I mean, I could just do it anyway and just see what happens. Might fuck up the highlights a bit, but maybe there's a way around that. But yeah, hopefully we won't have that problems. But I will have to make the adjustments to not playing licensed music in games that have licensed music. Saints Row and possibly Redneck Rampage come to mind for that, but maybe it won't be a big deal. We'll have to see. Oh yeah, while Dying Camel is here, I want to point out that for all you subs, there is now a new emote for subscribers. That's right. Obviously, there is still the awesome No that Fuzzball Renekitty made for me a while ago, but now I present to you the brand new Wookiee Super Shotgun emote for subscribers only, as made by Dying Camel, who actually sent me this 2 months ago, and I just completely forgot about it, and I've only uploaded it now. But there it is, a brand new sub emote. I can have 5 of these, by the way, now, thanks to previous sub storms. I can have actually up to 5 of these tier 1 sub emotes. So if you are a subscriber, there are now 2 whole emotes for you to use. So there you go. Thank you very much, Dying Camel, for the new sub emote. And again, if any of you do have a anything for that, I think I do have. Just bear with me a second. I do have a thing here. Where is it? No. Oh, here we go. I think this is the one. Yeah. And again, if any of you want to make some emotes for the channel, these are the emote size requirements. You know, they come in 3 different sizes. If you want to make a sub emote, that is how you need to do. Just putting that up there so you all know. I have mentioned this before. If people want to be creative and make their own stuff and get credit for it, I have space for 3 more. So you've got your 3 more options. So yeah, thanks very much, Dying Camel, for this new emote. Now I'll be able to show off 2 different emotes every time a new subscriber subscribes. So yeah, thanks. And so it took me 2 months to actually upload it. I don't know why I forgot about that. I really don't know why I forgot about that for 2 months. What else is there to mention? Oh yes. I trust you all remember what my 2,000 follower specials were going to be. Let's see if any of you can remember what my 2,000 follower special emote special plan is. Can any of you remember what I was going to do? Time to... No! Naked stream, more like banned from Twitch stream. Oh, Tiny, I'm also hello. No, not a naked stream. I'm the wrong gender for that. If I was a female, I could get away with it, maybe. But as a male, I have no fucking chance on this site. Not that I'd want to anyway. No, come on. Surely someone remembers what the 2,000 follower special is. It's something you've all... Bare-chested Greek wrestling in an oil pit. No, that's the 3,000 follower special. Now that you've mentioned it. Problem is I need to have someone to wrestle. But hopefully by the time I get 3,000 followers I can have a volunteer. No, not wrestling with a boner. I do that in Doom Wads all the time. Thought you already surpassed that mark. 2,000 followers. No. Currently, I have 1,751 followers. I've probably had 2,000 plus followers total, but at the current time, I only have 1,751. A very small number, really. Not that many people. Oh my god, it's actually quite a fucking lot. But no, I had not surpassed it. I had 1,000 follower special, which was no end in sight. Sunday Ultraviolence Baby. Yeah, there you go. I'm glad one of you remembered. Thanks. Yeah, I was going to play the new Sunder maps at 2,000 followers. I made a big deal about it, you know. I'd even mentioned it to Insane Gazebo that this was the plan. You know, if I get 2,000 followers, I will check out the new Sunder maps after 14. So that is the incentive for 2,000 followers. The instant I hit 2,000 followers plus and it stays that way, I will actually... You just guessed. Wow, well, you guessed correctly then. But yes... You're going to wrestle Gazebo! Yes! At 2,000 followers plus, I am going to play the new Sunder maps. Now, this doesn't guarantee I'm going to be able to finish all the new Sunder maps. But I'm going to give them a try, at least. That is the intent. So that is the incentive. Because I know a lot of you have wanted me to check out the new Sunder stuff. I was struggling to think of it and said, I announced this last month. And it's still there, you know. When I get to 2,000 followers plus, I will revisit Sunder for the second time, and I will play map 15 and maybe a few more, depending on how well it goes. That is the incentive. So for all those people who want me to play Sunder, that is your answer. Get me 249 more followers, and you'll get me to... And Sunder... No, I'm not starting from the beginning. Fuck off. I've already played 1 to 14. I'm not revisiting them again. Hell no. Not going from the beginning. There is no need. The maps haven't changed at all since I last played them. except for maybe minor tweaks in terms of things, but that's it. I'm not revisiting maps 1 to 14. It's 15 onwards, which are long and difficult and brutally punishing. And good luck to you, RTM. You'll need a lot of persistence and patience and the ability to not flip your shit. Map 6 alone will probably test you. Because fuck map 6, honestly. It's a grain in the arse. I probably will wish I was playing 1 to 14 again. So, you know, if you want me to suffer through Sunder's recent maps, 249 followers is all I ask. Get me up to 2,000. Now, that being said, I am in a very comfortable position having declared this target, because for the last month, the follower count has actually not gone anywhere. Like, dead serious. Like, I was expecting a small rise of people, you know, actually, I seem to have hit something of a slight metric peak at the moment in terms of new followers for some reason. Just something I've noticed, like, I've had a very gradual increase in followers for months, and this is the first month where, like, it's actually kind of stopped. Yeah, I know, 1 of 14 will walk in the park. You already did map 6. Jeez. We might be alright then, RTM. So, basically for the last month, I haven't really gained any followers. Well, I've had a few new ones, don't get me wrong. It's just that I've had what people leave too. Not massively, but basically it stayed at 1,750 roughly for about a month. So there is no worries whatsoever that anytime soon I'm suddenly going to be playing Sunder again at this moment in time. Need another Suitepee runbacks of Dark Souls and someone making completion will get his No! I don't want that infamy, Corn King. I already had that kind of infamy once in my life. I don't want it again. It's terrible. I'd be embarrassed if that's all I was known for. I feel bad enough when I get comments from Scotty saying he doesn't want several hours of being raged at. You know, that kind of gets to me a little bit, because I can understand where he's coming from, and it just makes me a bit depressed that that's all he can think of, you know. Like, I don't want someone raging at my map set for several hours. You know, granted, I wouldn't play it anyway, because I know that's what would happen, but it's a bit depressing to think that's what people think of when they think of you as a streamer. You know, you're just a guy that rages at shit, and it's not fun. And I'm trying to get out of that as best as I can, so... No, it wasn't on here, Turner K. It was on Dope Lives back in the day. In fact, I actually did a series on... let's see if I can find it for you. Oh god, do I have to link this video? Well, okay, I guess I can link this video. Sure. Let me just... Well, there's two videos really. There's this one, which is a compilation of the rage, which was one of the more...
How we all doing?
One of the least proud moments. But there was also a... I had a series as well where I covered all the bosses. Yeah, here it is. The Dark Souls Boss Journal. That was it. Never stop being subpar. Fuck you. Yeah, that was the rage video, but I also had a little series that I put together. I'll get you the link for the first one, which is actually something I edited myself for the most part. That's the first one in the series, and I cover every single boss. This was done in 2013. So yeah, I've played Dark Souls. Just bear in mind that the majority of the rage in the video is because I didn't understand that kindling was a permanent effect. I honestly believed it was temporary. When I realised that it was permanent, I felt pretty stupid for not realising it. I was a lot worse and a lot more stubborn back then, you know, and people did start getting fed up with it even back then. Right, that's part of the problem. It's dogged me, you know. But yeah, there's an entire series of me covering the bosses of Dark Souls, and I just edit it myself. You know, some of the videos are an hour long because the bosses take forever, but some of them were edited by other people to some extent, but I gave them the raw footage, so it's mostly my work. But yeah, basically what I'm saying is that, you know, anyone worried about me playing Sunder maps before I'm ready, don't worry. The followers aren't jumping in, so it's going to be a long while before I hit 2,000 people. So I have plenty of time to improve my quality of life and mentally prepare for Sunder maps. So there we go. It's not a problem, it's just something I thought I'd point out was a bit of an interesting thing. Because I know that every month previously when I've started checking it, I've always gained a few followers every month. And this year, this is the last month was the first month where it actually kind of stopped. So I hope I've not hit some kind of peak already. You know, 1,751, that's it. That's the highest you're going to get. You're not getting any more. You're at your peak. Now begins the downward cycle. Everyone starts leaving, and then this time next year, I'm in a room in the dark with one viewer going, "Hi guys, today we're gonna play Doom. Please come back to the channel." Sort of thing. This is the downward spiral begins. Sounds more appealing. Yeah, are you going to be like the one person there, Whitey Snakey, the one viewer going, "Hey, this is the best channel ever. I remember when you had 20 people watching your shit. Now you have one person. And you have no more subscribers, and you've lost your affiliate, and you're just rocking in a corner. Come on, play Doom." No, I am curious though, like if it I don't think I've hit my peak though, but it is an interesting little statistical thing. The Dark Room and Doom and one viewer. I could do that now. It just would be weird. Have I ever played any of the Metal Gear Solid games? Yes, but not on stream. I've beaten 1 and 2. Back in the days, I used to own them on the PS1 and the PS2. I beat them. I didn't really appreciate Metal Gear Solid 2 as much at the time. It was okay, but I didn't really like it compared to the first one. But in hindsight, Metal Gear Solid 2 was pretty good. I didn't play any others after that, apart from maybe Survive's demo, which was meh. Glad I didn't buy that shit. But no, I haven't really played any of the other MGS games. Maybe one for the future, perhaps. Maybe. So that's that. So there is one other thing that I want to talk about. I do have a bit of time spare, but I need to get out in the next hour to go and help my mum out with some shit. So as you know, in October, I'm going to be doing a horror game month, which is what I should have done last year, but World of Warcraft got in the way. But this year, it will be a proper horror game month. I am going to very carefully plan out the month to make sure that it is nothing but horror for the entirety of October. I might even consider a costume or some prop of some sort closer to the time. I'm not going to plan it just yet, but when I get to September, I'm going to start planning things a bit more extensively. John Suitepee, yes. And I'm going to plan the games out. I have quite a few horror games on my to-do list. I need to plan out which ones I'm going to play, how long they're going to be. Oh, I remember WoW stream, past 12 PM farming, you junkie. Yeah, I don't play WoW anymore. So, I'm glad I got away from that. It was a dark time, and I feel really bad that I promised this horror stream for the entirety of October last year, and I didn't deliver. And I feel bad that I reneged on that. So I gotta make up for it this year and actually deliver a proper good horror month, which I will do. I like horror games, so it's perfect for me. Where are all the butler knives? I'm gonna come with a knife. No, it won't be like that. It might be like a mask or I don't know. So it won't be anything too complicated. Don't get crazy. I can't afford to buy a million props. It might be something just a little bit, kind of like when I wore a Santa hat last Christmas. Do I still have that Santa hat? I might need to use it again. I might wear something for the Halloween period. I might even have a dark room. Maybe get a light source, make it real dark and atmospheric. Well, refuse bag. Fair enough. But yeah, I'm going to be playing the games for that next month. I mean, if we go back to... Not you. Where is that thing there? If we go back to the list again, you can see that I've got quite a few horror games on there. I've got Bendy and the Ink Machine. I have Silent Hill Homecoming. There's also potentially The Letter. Spirit Hunter Deathmark, I think, is another one. I actually come to think of it, I only have 4 games that are really horror. Well, System Shock arguably is a 5th one, but I don't think that really counts. So I have like only a few actual horror games on there, like proper ones in the traditional sense, but there are others I might play as well. But the big thing that is going to happen is obviously there is a new Amnesia game coming out sometime in autumn. Amnesia Rebirth by Frictional Games, which I believe Frictional Games don't require much of an introduction. You'll remember they made Amnesia The Dark Descent, Penumbra, and Soma. Very good at making these incredibly immersive horror games. And Amnesia Rebirth is coming out this autumn at some point. And the main thing I'm waiting to hear is like a confirmed release date. Because the other thing I need to keep in mind when planning out October is that I have said that in November and December it's going to be Doom mapping, and I want to sort of try and get it so that all the horror stuff is done in October as much as is possible and doesn't run over too much into November, because I'm going to probably need every spare day I can get for the next 2 months to do the Doom mapping. So I'm trying to make sure that I don't overspill into too much into the rest of the year. And part of that is I'm waiting to get the actual full release date of Amnesia Rebirth. I would imagine they will try to release in October, maybe late October. So with any luck, maybe it'll be like something like the 26th, the 27th of October. Then I can play my games up to Amnesia Rebirth, and then I can play it on the day it comes out, which will be great, because I will obviously play Amnesia Rebirth, I will buy it, and I will play it. That'll be like the pinnacle of the horror month, will be playing that new Amnesia game, because it'll be a really good horror experience, and you'll all really enjoy it, hopefully, alongside the other stuff I need to play. So I'll be planning out the sort of... I might even mention what the schedule is, what I plan to play for the entirety of the horror month when we get to it. But I have got in mind. There is, however, something else that I might want to do. I have this idea that I might want to try for October. I'm not committing to this, but I have an idea. Let me just go and get something real quick. Okay. Oh, and thank you very much for the follow. Jesus1. Much appreciated. I do play some Doom stuff, but I am currently focusing on my other games. You can find the list of the other games in the channel description below. I'm currently playing through Dragon Quest Heroes, which I will be continuing tonight, actually. But yeah, thanks for the follow, dude. Or girl, or whatever. So, what I was thinking to do... Now, I don't know if this is going to go ahead, because if I get a job, might scupper it. But I have this plan that I may or may not do. I might do it anyway and just not complete it or something, or carry it over. But my idea, my little crazy idea that I have in my head, is for the whole of October, on every single night, or as many nights I can get away with. Although ideally I want to do this every single night, because it'd be really cool. What I would think to do is sometime at about, I don't know, 9, 10, maybe even 11 o'clock at night, my time, what I would do is maybe after I've done a stream for a bit, or maybe at the end of a stream, I would read this. I would read all the tales from this book, the Necronomicon, the best tales of H.P. Lovecraft. Yeah. This is on my reading list. And I'm thinking of reading and doing a reading of all the tales from this book over October. Now, I've actually had a quick peek at how many there are in the book, and there are a total of... I've got this correct. Shit, miscounted, sorry. 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34. 30, well, I guess there's also another one. There's 37 there's 37 stories in this book. There's 37 stories. Some are quite short, others are a bit lengthier. But I was thinking that every single night in October, I could spend some time reading these tales. You know, I maybe I'd set up a few graphics, maybe a link to the original story somewhere if I can get a copy of it, of all the stories. But what would you all think of that idea of, like, throughout October, maybe at the end of a stream, I spend like an hour reading Lovecrafts to you? You know, like, but the plan I had in mind was, like, I would read it, and then I'd also have a link to the original, like maybe a PDF file or a place where you can get a copy of the story so you can read along with it, or whatever, or something like that. You know, so yeah, just so that you'd have something to read along with me. Just an idea that I had, you know, do some reading of the... Well, yeah, it'd just be like reading a horror story, you know, and it would be the first time that I would read these. It's not like I've read any of these. I mean, I've maybe peeked at one or two in the past. Obviously, I think we know, you know, but I think I've read maybe one of them in the past, but that's it. But for the most of these stories, it'll be me reading them as I see them for the first time. So I'd be reacting to them it'd be the first time I'd have read them as well. So what would you all think of that idea? Like maybe for October, I'd spend the nights telling you tales of Lovecraft. Do you think it's a good idea or not? You know, I'm not committing to this idea because the idea in my head is to do this every single night for October. Like, you know, 31 different nights. Every night there is a horror reading at the end of it. Like, some of these are quite short, so I could get through like several in a day or something if I wanted to. But I thought it was a really cool idea, you know. I was going to get around to reading these anyway, and I thought it'd be kind of cool to read them in front of an audience. You think you'd be more happy with your reading more lowbrow content like the point horror books? What are the point horror books? Are they like teenage horror or some shit? No one else has any thoughts on that? You know, reading Lovecraft during horror month? Ah, teenage horror, okay. It's just an idea I have, you know. I mean, I'll probably mention this again next month and see if I'm still interested and if anyone else is still interested in it. But I thought it was a cool idea, you know. I get to read this book. I get to create some nice horror vibe for October. You know, I was a bit inspired by Dying Camel doing his stories in that regard. Probably more humorous and engaging. A horror wrestling story. So you'd reckon that, like, instead of reading like a serious horror story, I'd be like better at reading a more light-hearted one? Do you reckon? It could be an interesting idea. Like something we can laugh at a bit. Whereas with Lovecraft, it's a bit more serious, I guess. The only thing is I don't have the point horror collection. You look like you chug banana milk. Let me just check the date you created this account. Oh, yesterday. Okay, would you care to clarify that statement? Mr. Sister Fister 420. Thanks for the follow, I guess. So it's an interesting comment to come out with, but yeah, okay, thanks, I guess. Seems like you're putting an unfollow me in a minute, but whatever. Point Horror is a series of young adult horror fiction book. The series was most popular among teenage... Oh, okay. Oh, wow, there's a lot of these. Holy shit. So many. Oh. Wait, hang on a second. R.L. Stein? Goosebumps guy? Oh, I used to love the Goosebumps box when I was younger. Yeah, I remember the Goosebumps stuff. Goosebumps was pretty good. There was some, I used to cut quite a few of those. They were good. They had some pretty decent horror-ish for the time, anyway. Used to love that stuff. I don't think... Oh, 42%. Okay, I don't think it's 42% health. I think it's someone who just wants to get their name up for a minute, and then they're probably going to not say a damn thing, and then they're going to disappear and unfollow me. I mean, that's the way they do it. They make a random comment, and then they follow, and then they disappear, and that's it. That's the last I'll ever hear of Mr. Sister Fister 420. Yeah, is there like a way to get a PDF file of the books or something? Because I'm not going to go out and buy the point horror collections for humorous reading. But yeah, if you got like a PDF link or something, yeah, message me on Twitch about it, Whitey Snaking. I'll look into it. I still kind of like the idea of this, but I'll see what people think. I might mention it a few times before October and see what people think about it. Because I know when not everyone watches the Sweet States, and I know they have to probably mention my ideas a few times during other streams, but it's just an idea that I had, you know. Do some horror story reading during October, alongside the other game plans that I have. But, yeah. Okay, well, it's been 2 hours, 2 eventful and fun hours. It is surprisingly hard to get PDFs. Okay. They are way more protected than ROMs. Oh, yeah, fair enough. I'm telling you, you guys would love a good wrestling tale against Count Dracula and a Royncroft. Yeah, sure, Conking, whatever you say. So that's going to be it for my points. Now I throw open the floor to questions from the audience. And just to let you know, I've got plenty. I've got enough time. I've got to get off in about 40 minutes. I've got to go help my mum with some charity work. So, not that I will be here for 40 minutes, but would I wrestle a Dracula? No, not really. I think Dracula would. I don't think I'd want to wrestle Dracula because Dracula is very. We can turn into a fucking bat. And he has all those hypnotic powers and shit. I don't think I'd want to wrestle a vampire because he'd probably just bite my arm. You know, I'd have to wear like garlic or something. Like, it wouldn't really be a wrestling match. It'd just be a case of me wearing a shit ton of garlic and then going towards him, and he'd just be backing off, going, "Ugh, not the garlic." Flap, flap, flaps away. That'll be about the extent of any wrestling match. Garlic and running away, I think. But yeah, if there's any questions you want to ask me, now is the time. Exactly, with a big cross. Big cross, garlic. Eat some garlic pizza before I fight him. Johnny the garlic bread boy. That's right. But yeah, if there's any questions you want to ask me, now is the time. You know, anything you've ever wanted to ask this humble streamer. You know, anything at all. Maybe you could ask me why I chug banana milk. I've never had banana milk, actually. So I guess that's wrong. Banana bubbles. What's a good deal? Do you like sweet peas? Sweet peas are okay. I just realised, hey, Weak Sauce 13. I don't mind sweet peas, they're okay. Steak is a good cereal. So I guess I answered that question. I can't imagine why you'd ask that, Weak Sauce 13. I don't know if it's in the name. But, yeah. He had a Kappa response. This one is this person is actually is not just a quick commenter and then they run off. They're not a Mr. Fister, you know. They don't just get in, get their comment and get out. They want to stick around for the actual answer. Eddie only likes it with weak sauce. Oh, Depop. Ho. But yeah, like, any other questions from anyone? Like, any actual questions? Tarsos combined with message. Yes. Do you have anything this month to crash test from WODs? I plan to publish my side project map at around mid-end of the month. Oh, you mean a playtest session? Yeah, there are two mappers that have actually asked me to playtest something from them. Sesamia and Bush Pig to Dope. So at some point soon-ish, I probably will be doing some sort of a playtest stream. I might consider doing it in between the Dragon Quest Heroes thing. But yeah, there are some things I'm going to playtest. I mean, as I said, I am still going to do at least one playtest stream a month, so that's not going to change. You know, I've got some stuff to playtest, so don't worry about that. Yeah, and as soon as that comes out, I'll be playing it. I am considering that an exceptional release because I've been waiting for that one for ages. But that's kind of like the exception. But that's only because I've been waiting for it for ages and, you know, it's been teasing it for fucking ever. So I will definitely play that when it comes out. To hell with everything, a month's worth of D-Zone. You are a walking pandemic, you're right. You and Lord Sergeant should have some pun meetings together. Punaholics Anonymous. Maybe not that anonymous. Oh god, D-Zone. No. I've heard horror stories of D-Zone stuff thanks to Mega Lego Smuggler. He's told me and even shown me the horrors of D-Zone maps on his YouTube channel. I don't think I'd want to play those. I'm already quite mad in one day considering to play Maximum Doom at some point when I have the time. D-Pop. There might be a map called D-Pop in the D-Zone. You'd have to D-check. But yeah, if you want to send me a suggestion for playtesting, Corn King, you can do if you'd want to. Sometimes in the last few playtest streams have been inspired by someone sending me something anyway, so you know. NJ Doom. Don't think I've played that one. Let me just check though. Nope, I've not played NJ Doom. Going to my list. Oh. This book isn't hard enough to hit on my head for the facepalm I wanted for Depop's comment. Do. NJ Doom is considered the first megawatt. Oh, right, that's where it is. Oh, I've never heard of that before. I've heard of wow.word or orig.word. I never knew there was the first megawatt. And the maps are actually good. Okay. Well, maybe I'll play it sometime. Maybe someone could request it. Sorry, in the future. Who knows? So are there any other questions that you want to throw out there, peeps in the audience? Before I have to get off and take care of some boring business. Which I think is just involving stacking boxes and stuff like that. And I ain't getting paid for it either. Doing it for free. Doing this hard work for free. At least here I got paid 50 pence, thanks to Dying Camel. I gotta go out and do some work for free. Terrible. Alright, cool. Yeah, any questions from anyone? Any questions? And it's a big book. This will be a good prop to have in the background. Of if I could get it to fit somewhere, it'd be a good prop to have in the background of a stream, like I don't know, something like put it there. No, that'd just be silly, but if I could, like, if I had a bookshelf behind me, I could put it, like, behind me or something, and it would be a cool prop. I'll have to look into that. Even though my webcam will be very small, I think it'd be a nice prop to have. Cooking level? I can't remember what my cooking level was in RuneScape when I finished it, actually. When I finally retired, I can find out though. Give me a sec. I should be able to find it. Just bear with me a moment. Man, I have to go all the way to this one, and then I have to go to the. Do I show off my final stats at the end? To check, actually. I'm trying to remember if I actually show off my final stats at the end of RuneScape, my RuneScape playthrough. You notice the numbers there until I stream them, then returns the cow off onto the stake level. Yeah, I've never seen remember stuff either. I'm just trying to remember if I can bring up a stats screen so I can show what my stats were. How the bloody hell did you bring them up? So I am actually trying to answer your question, but I can't seem to find a point where I use the stats screen. Bear with me, I'm just trying to find an answer to your question. Fuck. Is there any point where I revert to the stats screen at all? Maybe at the beginning. So, oh god. Ah, come on, show the stats. Maybe I show them off at the beginning. Defend your honor, John. Yeah, I just need to. I just need to find a point where I show off my stats. I'm just not sure I actually did ever show off the stats for the final thing. Thought I might have done. Let me zoom up to twice the speed. Maybe I can. Ah, come on. Go to the stats screen, damn it. Fuck. Fuck, fuck, fuck. Do I ever go to the stats screen again? Jesus. Nope. Not there. Ah, I can't find it. I don't know if I ever converted to the stats screen at all or not. I can't believe that. Did I seriously, like, in my very last part, never even show a rundown of my final fucking stats so everyone could see what I ended on? I find, but that's just shut. I don't microwave frozen, just microwave frozen food. I'm surprised. But if I did that, like, I never bothered to ever show off my final accumulated stats to anyone. Actually, I think I probably changed. Oh, you know what? I just realised it's probably inaccurate anyway, because I know I played a few times after I finished the playthrough. So I don't actually know. Is there a way to whatever? I don't know what my cooking level is. This is just a waste, and I don't know what it is. And I haven't played RuneScape mainly since. I think I played a couple of times after I finished the playthrough and then I just stopped altogether. I just got bored. You know. So I don't know what my cooking level is. And I don't just microwave frozen food. So that was a great waste of time. Thanks, Corn King. Any other questions from anyone? Any other questions at all? Or is that it? Looks like that might be it. Guess that's all the questions from the Sweet State audience today. You got nothing from your bag of random questions. Okay, fair enough. This is why I need to do these during the evening, really, but it'd be a bit different if I did these during the evening, I think. That's another thing that would change when I get my own place as well. These would no longer be done during the day. These will be done at night, when the most people can be around to receive the information from them. Where are you from? Oh, hi, Kinda Jane. I am from the UK, from England. Kinda Jane, I come from the UK. Thanks for asking. How are you doing? Whoop, whoop. What's it like? How you like it there? Never been? It's alright. It's okay, I guess. There's certainly a fair amount of stuff around the country if you do come over and look around the place. I come from the northwest, so I could recommend like the Lake District is a good place to go for some beautiful nature and countryside stuff. Great lakes and lots of nice walks. Generally, I think the UK is okay. I like the NHS. The National Health Service is pretty good when it works effectively. Generally, the UK is a decent enough place to live in. It's not bad, honestly. I lived in the US and now in Sweden. But really want to explore the UK on a road trip. Well, you're going to have to wait until the coronavirus is gone, but if you do that, then a road trip would be decent. I mean, you could cover London. I would recommend going to the Lake District. It's in the north of the country. It's a good little area. Beautiful natural scenery and all that, as well as the inspiration for the Lord of the Rings series. If that intrigues you at all. Most Swedish people just come to Scotland. Yeah, I guess there's also Scotland as well. Oh my god, never heard it before. Just looked it up. It looks gorgeous. Well, it is. It's really beautiful. It's a nice place. I've been there several times. There is a lot of nice little villages, lakes. You can canoe. You can hire a little boat and go out on the lakes. And there's just lots of nice walks as well, hills, mountains, just beautiful scenery in general. And it was the inspiration for J.R.R. Tolkien when he was writing Lord of the Rings, so you've got that as well, you know. I mean, New Zealand was the film inspiration, but the book was mainly written and inspired by the Lake District back in the day. So, and there's other stuff as well, you know. The UK is generally a decent place. Well, you've learned something new. Yay! Now you have somewhere new to visit if you ever take that trip around the UK. Whatever year we're allowed to do that again. Maybe next year if we're lucky. If we're lucky. Do you like ensuite bathrooms? Do I like ensuite bathrooms? I guess. I mean, ensuite bathrooms. I've been in a few hotels, so generally helps to have an ensuite bathroom, yes. Wales. Is that another pun? Weak sauce. Oh my god, there's a third one. Jeez. We got Depop, we got Lord Sergeant, and we got weak sauce. You're fucking multiplying. God damn it. Do you like to wear sweets? Would you like to sit on this fine suite? Or I could go all the way. Look. Here I am. Sitting on a suite. Look, it's John Suitepee sitting on a suite. While sucking on a sweet. And having some sweet peas. And wearing a suit. You know? Go all the way. Now lay on it. Oh my god, he's more than a torso. What, lay on the fucking couch thing? That'd be something. Lay on the couch. So like, I go... oh, like this. Ugh. Okay, there we go. I am now laying on the suite. John Suitepee laying on the suite. Hopefully you can still hear my voice. I think OBS is showing you can still hear my voice from across the room. That's good. Cool. There we go. This is the pinnacle, the almost pinnacle of sweet-related puns. You happy now? You know, just do the rest of it for me if I could see the chat, but I can't, so I have to come over to read the chat again. Ugh. we are gonna recreate that scene from True Life. Which one's that? I'll just pop that back up to there. There we go. You just assumed your wrestling position. Now wait for your opponent. No dance. No dancing. No dancing. Not today. So, yeah. Any other questions? I have to get off in like 10 minutes or so, by the way. What have you been up to this weekend? What have I been up to this weekend? Let me see. Well, on Friday I got around to... I don't know. There was supposed to be a gaming session, but it didn't happen, so I just watched YouTube videos and what was on my to-do list. Saturday, I went to the gym and I played some Dragon Quest Heroes, which I'm doing tonight as well, by the way. And then Sunday, I took care of some family business and didn't stream because I was in the mood. And relax. No. These are the Friday night sessions I have with Draukin and another friend called Sage. But that might be changing, because I think we're going to be playing Phantasy Star Online 2 when it comes out on Steam on Wednesday. Drauken really wants to play that, and I think we're going to be doing some stuff in that for a bit, I think. So, yeah. But normally on the Fridays we do some co-op stuff together. So that's why I don't stream on a Friday night usually. I've not actually played poker for several months. I mean, I was playing Poker Night at the Inventory, but I've not really played any poker for several months. Well, I'll tell a lie. I actually played some poker a few weeks ago on Tabletop Simulator, but I've not played like actual live poker. Eastern Europe is under CBT with region restrictions and PSO. Yeah, we're not going to have that problem with the Steam release of Phantasy Star Online 2. Not strip poker. Never played that. No, I've not played poker proper, like poker for cash, I should say, since the lockdown started. It'd be nice to get out and do that again once I have a job, just for the fun and the thrill of it. But I don't think poker's coming back into the pubs anytime soon, so that's going to be probably next year we're looking at, I think. But we'll see. I mean, the casinos were supposed to open last weekend. This weekend, which is gone, but it's been delayed by 2 weeks, so they're not open yet until later this month. And not that I want to be going to a casino and playing anyway, but it's a thing. So yeah. That's what I've been doing this weekend, Canna Jane. And hopefully this weekend I will stream a bit more, because I have so much to play and get on with. So, any other questions from anyone? Casino? Where are you from? I'm from the UK, doody doots. We have casinos in the UK. I've not really visited them that often, just for like regional poker tournaments with the Red Tooth League and the odd visit otherwise. But it's just another thing that I'm not going to go play in them, because it's very expensive to play one game of poker in a casino, and while I don't have a job, it's not really viable. I just enjoy playing the pub poker stuff. It's just social and fun. I'm not that good at the game, but I enjoy playing it sometimes. It's a fun little hobby, I guess. I like slots with the crazy lines. Oh, you're a slot machine gambler, eh? I never got into those. I see them everywhere. I think I've played one of those kind of slot machines once in my entire life, and I didn't really get anywhere with it. So I've never understood the appeal myself. But I've watched people who do know what they're doing with it, and there is a tack to it, I suppose, isn't there? You put your money back in the machine before you leave. Oh, you didn't see what I did there. Very punny. But yeah, I sometimes watch like a person who puts money into it. There's some kind of a strategy to it, which mainly involves spending a lot of money to get more, potentially. There's like a strategy to it, apparently, to playing the slots of sorts. $20 for the machine till you find one point to pay as the best strat, but it's hard to move on. Yeah, it seems to be about figuring out when a machine's about to pay off, and then you put like £10 in and you get 100. And if you know that, then basically you always know when to play the slot machine. And as long as you know how the game works, you can just, you know, you can spend 25 quid, win the jackpot once, and your day's done. That's what they tend to do, I think. I mean, some of these people, sometimes they just spend all the money and don't win, but then they'll win a jackpot because they just spend that much commitment to it. They eventually get the prize. All that just goes over my head, though. I just watch with like muted awe, as it were. Please gamble responsibly. Just gotta throw and help there. No, I wouldn't know how to play them myself, so I can't do that. You can't see me peeking around the corner waiting for people to leave. I don't know how to play them, really, so I would never be able to do it. Besides, amusement arcades mostly suck these days, except for the one I went to at the arcade club, which I also can't wait to reopen. Actually, I think it has reopened. But, you know, most modern arcades, the ones I've been to, are just meh. Oh, you know what? I'm trying to get words out. Did I ever talk about the arcade club? Like, did I ever talk about the arcade club? Like, 2 years ago when I went. I feel like this is something I probably would have mentioned in a sweet state, but I'm not 100% sure. Did I ever talk about arcade club? At all? I know I've tweeted about it in the past because I was really hyped to go there, but I don't know if I ever sat down and talked about it for a lengthy period. It's not that kind of place, Depop. God damn it. I'm sure I tweeted it, didn't I? I've not even watched Fight Club. I think I have it somewhere, but I've never watched it. I should have time. I might just have time to do this, but then I'll have to get off, I think. If I can find the pictures anyway. Let me just look up for something real quick. No, not that one. No, not that one. Holy shit, was this like 2017 I did this? No, it doesn't seem right. Hold on. Oh god, I have some pictures I need to fucking delete. Just bear with me, everyone. Just... Oh wait, or do I have it in here? Let me just check real quick. No, not that one. Let me see. I know I have them somewhere. But where are they? Fuck. Can't find them. Shit. No, that wasn't it. No. Fuck, I swear I had these I was looking at these the other day. Shit, when was it? No. Nope. That wasn't it. No, I can't have been that far. Oh, hold on. Ah, here we go. I think I might have found where they are now. Aha, yes. Here we fucking go. I think I found what I'm looking for. Let me I just need to check something real quick. Going through these pictures, I just want to check something. I am checking to make sure there's no personal shit that will accidentally be shown for the internet. I don't think there is. I think we're good. The hell? The hell is this crap? Alright, that's nothing to do with what I want at all. Yeah, okay. Hey, biodegradable. How's it going? No, I found it. I found what I'm looking for. I just need to set this up. I'm surprised I didn't talk about this like at the time, because this was 2 years ago, in June, in fact. I'm sure if I didn't mention this during a sweet state, then I'm a bit surprised. But I didn't. But I'll mention it now. So I'm just showing off something that I just kind of randomly got tangential onto. It's this place here. I discovered this place. A work colleague of mine a few years ago, I think it was in 2017, talked about this place during a random conversation. And I eventually visited it in 2018, and it was like one of the best days I've had in my life. It was such a cool place. And they have like several places. They've got one in Bury, they've got one in Leeds, and they're going to open one in Blackpool, possibly. And I went, and it's like the best arcade you could ever imagine. Like, not even kidding. I'm just going to... What I'll do here is I will... I'll just cut my camera over to here for a moment. Yeah, I'm just talking about... We just gone on for... It's sort of like the end of the sweet state. I'm asking questions, and I just decided to remember. And that's when I'm like... I don't know, did I ever talk about this? I guess not. So yeah, I visited this place called the Arcade. I know I tweeted it. I know I've shared some of these pics on my Twitter, because I was hyped at the time, but I don't think I ever sat down and had to talk about how cool this place is. So yeah, this is the Bury. I went to the Bury site. I got one on a train. I want to go back there at some point, but I want to bring some friends with me, or I'll just go anyway. Maybe I'll do something interesting next time. Maybe I could have just stream it, but yeah. Blue Church. So yeah, this is the front entrance, and there's a sign for it. And then this is the mill where it's at. Yeah, I've seen the thread for that. It's pretty cool stuff. So then this is what's inside. Right, this is one of the this was the first thing was inside the arcade club. This one wasn't plugged in, but they had this weird machine. For like basically what it is, as the link is, there's this guy who collected arcade cabinets, like proper old school arcade cabinets, and he had them all in a warehouse. And then one day, after launching the first one, he had so many that he had to spread them out, and he's just got a metric shit ton of these old arcade cabinets. Like, we're not talking like the shitty C-side ones. We're talking about 80s cabinets. And he has a load of them. And the arcade club is basically, you pay like, I think it's like £15, and you get unlimited access to them. And you get modern stuff, old stuff, everything. It has everything. It is like a proper arcade. Like, you have seen them in like TV series, the American arcades, you know, the wall-to-wall stuff, the noise, the heat. That is what the place offers. It was like going to another world. So that was just the first inside. You can see there's a Nintendo. You can see a little Nintendo badge there on the corner. Oh, thanks to the follow, biodegradable one. Now you have not forgotten. And now you have followed. Thank you very much. So yeah, this is like a Nintendo balloon fight. And then There was this machine, which was also... This one wasn't working, but there were some inside that were, and I actually played one of these. It's like a rhythm machine. You know, these are like really popular in Japan, apparently. And like you sort of press on the... I actually played one of these. You press on the squares and there's music on the screen. This one wasn't working, but there were some inside that did work. This was just before I even went inside proper. This was like just in the waiting area. Then this was inside, properly inside. This was the I think this was one of the first rooms I went in, and you can see there you got all the old-fashioned donate Dance Dance Revolution to John. That'd be funny. Yeah, I won't really have a lot of room to do that at the moment, Depop. When I have my own place and a bit more room, sure, could do some DDR if you'd want. Won't be the first time I've done some dancing weird shit to on a camera. Yeah, absolutely the same. I mean, the only time I ever really played in an arcade, I either went to Blackpool, but Blackpool's was kind of, it was alright, I guess. Or it was in Cornwall on my old family trips. Like, there used to be this little arcade in a little small town called Bude, and they had like proper arcade cabinets and pinball machines. And it was the highlight of the damn trip, honestly, because I just used to go there every night. And yeah, the arcade scene passed me by because it was mainly like in the 80s and the early 90s, and then it kind of died out as consoles became better, you know. But I do remember they were a big deal a long time ago. And even in the early 90s, I was too young and I didn't go down to London where they all were. They didn't quite take off as well as they did in America. As they did in America over here, they were like limited to a few spots. So, you know, I thought these kind of places were dead. I legitimately thought, aside from America, I thought these places were dead. I thought these would never exist anymore. And yet, this exists in 2 different places now. Possibly a third in Blackpool, which would be cool. Sega Park, yeah. Oh, Beat Saber, yeah, I've seen that. On Dope Lives. Beat Saber, that was a fun game. You can like upload your own custom songs to it and have different graphics and shit. Yeah, in the 90s, I remember seeing like Bad Influence would show off these arcades, you know. In big cities, they did have an arcade, but that was it. You had to go to a big city. You know, it's not like you could go down to your local, you know. Yeah, so then there was Crazy Kong, which, I kid you not, is basically Donkey Kong. But it's not Donkey Kong. It's called Crazy Kong. I think it's like a British knockoff. It plays like Donkey Kong. I remember this because it's the first one I played on. Like, I went upstairs and I was still impressed at the fact that I had access to all of these machines for free. You know, I paid my entry and that was it. I didn't have to like put in pounds or 50 pence or something. It was like, here you go, play these machines if they're available. So I played Crazy Kong, and it was just Donkey Kong, but it was a British ripoff. Jungle Hunt is legit. Big city arcades were basically off limits to us. Yeah, I mean, I never really bothered at the time. I had an NES, but, you know, I kind of would have liked to have been part of the arcade scene. The only other time I remember an arcade from my youth was when I went to France. And I remember crowding around this machine and watching 2 good Metal Slug players. Like, there were 2 players on Metal Slug, and they would play Metal Slug, and they were really good at it, and they didn't die. And I think they beat the whole thing in like a few euros or something. But I was like proper good players. But yeah, these are and all of these were set to free play. You know, that's the thing. You didn't have to put in any pennies or 50 pences or pounds. You just played them for free. You know, you pay your entry fee and you go in. So then you had others. There's Centipede, and you can see there they're wall to each other. You know, they're just piled up. You know, proper old school arcade cabinets. And then they had some modern stuff too. This was on the modern floor, where they had some modern stuff. So they don't just have all the old stuff. They have modern stuff like PS4s. They had VR. I could have played VR. I could have played Doom 6 2016 in VR. And I would have done if I had a friend there to watch out for me. I was very tempted to play it, but I didn't want to. I've never done VR, and I didn't want to do it by myself. But yeah, they had all the, I think that was a dehumidifier and a fan. They had all these modern games, Xboxes, PlayStations, Switches. And then you have some more, there's some more Japanese stuff. I don't know what these were, I didn't play them. I was just going around going, wow, look at all these cool arcades, man. And then, oh yeah, and they had PUBG PCs, like about 12 of them. Row upon row. I actually sat down and played a PUBG round. You could just play them. You just hopped in and you just played. That was the first time I played on a really cool computer. This is back when I still had Windows 7. So, and I was playing on a top of the line PC. And there you are, you can just sit down and play. And you can play as a team, there's headphones provided, and you play, and it was like, wow, this is so cool. I didn't actually kill anyone. I didn't do any better on this version of PUBG than I did on any of my streams. But it was cool the fact these were just here, all these modern PCs, gaming PCs. And then there's a working machine. You can see this is one I played on. You actually press the buttons on the screen. It was a rhythm thing. It was really cool. And there was one with drums as well. And then you had, and you can see the consoles. You got a Wii there. That's not Wii, sorry, that's a PlayStation's. Time Crisis. You've heard of Time Crisis biodegradable? Yeah, in fact, I think you can even see Beat Saber there in the background. They had like all these different consoles set up because they also had esports events here as well, apparently. They had like fighting games stuff. So they had all these consoles set up so you could play all these console games too. So it's pretty cool. And then they had about 6 versions of Mario Kart. SNES version, N64, you can see there. They had the Wii version. They had all the Mario Karts and sofas. Look at those fucking sofas. They had all these cool old consoles set up and everything. Oh, it wasn't Time... Oh, no, not Time Crisis. I'm thinking of the wrong game. Point Blank. I remember that. There was a pub around my end a decade ago that had it. It was a studenty pub, which is the kind of place you'd get something like that. It was called Point Blank. Yeah, you had like lives and mini games. It was cool. You wish your wimpy using Europe had something like this. It probably does somewhere. But yeah, I mean, there was couches and Mario Karts. These were quite empty. I watched someone play a game, but I didn't play any myself. I was on my own. Did you know this game? Oh, jeez, what is that? God damn it, Depot. And then, a Nintendo with Mario Brothers. I played this one. Even though I used to own an NES and an actual map. Do I still have my own NES cartridge? I'm not sure. I might still own my NES, my original 1991 NES somewhere. I might have got rid of it when we moved, but I know I used to own one. But yeah, I played Mario Brothers. I think I got to about World 3 or 4 and died. I never actually beat Mario Brothers. Then I played a bit of Injustice. I think this was 2018. I think it was Injustice 2. I think I played as a guy with a cat. I played some AI for a bit just for fun. Played a few rounds. It was cool. Obviously better to play with some friends, but I was like, I was just experimenting a bit on a PS4. And what an arcade stick. They had arcade sticks. and I actually played on this one. First time I've ever played on an arcade stick. And then, oh look, there we go. Speaking of the devil biodegradable, there's Time Crisis and Point Blank 2, of which I played one of them. And then this was a shot of the whole thing, so yeah, they had everything. You can also see there were people playing Fortnite as well. There were some kids in the corner playing FIFA at one point. You know, it's sort of like, this was like the modern floor, where they had a mix of arcades and then modern stuff, you know. So you had a bit of everything. You know, you could even see an old table arcade there. And that's some people playing Fortnite and all kinds of stuff. It was really cool. It wasn't the busiest that day, but it was busy enough. And then there's another shot of it. You got some pool tables as well. You've got all kinds of stuff. It was just good shit. And then this room was full of like 80s arcade stuff. There's like a specific room just for the old style stuff. And then they had a room full of pinball machines, and one of them had a broken flipper. One of them had a stiff pump action thing. But yeah, pinball machines. I'm not very good at them, but I like pinball machines. You still have your old N64 singing a shoebox. Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, I used to own an SNES as well, but at the end, the SNES stopped working, so I had to get rid of it. My NES still works, and I don't know where it is. There is a possibility I got rid of it. I might have got rid of it when we moved. I need to double check that, because if I haven't got rid of it, I need to box it somewhere. I mean, it barely works, but I have a lot of old NES games I used to have. I just suspect I got rid of them, which wouldn't be a loss. I can always just emulate them. But yeah, pinball machines. There was a Metallica one. I think I played that one. I played one of them. I can't remember which one. Oh, you know, it might have been this one, actually. I played the Metallica one. And then you got old asteroids. Yeah, SNES is good stuff. And yeah, you could also buy food and drink here, by the way, and it wasn't expensive. And the best part is you could take that food and drink and go to an arcade and play it. I mean, you have to be really sensible, but people would like have drinks on top of arcade cabinets and stuff like that, you know. So it was like a really sort of cool place. You know, you could play games, have a little bite to eat, and then keep playing games, you know. I mean, you can see there's a little table thing, and then there's the entrance to the arcade. This is like on the second floor, I think, which is like the old-fashioned arcade floor. Hey, Doom Jessica, how's it going? There were like two floors. There was the modern floor, and then there was the sort of the retro floor where you had just all the arcades of the old style. And this was the entrance to that. And there's a mum there with a kid playing some, I think it was like some on the table games or something like that. Yeah, I took a picture around. You know, even the food area, there were arcades, and there's actually a fighting games around this one as well. And then look at that, an old Commodore style computer. They had these too. You know, they had all these old, really old PC game things as well. Yeah, I'm just showing off the arcade club, Doom Jasker, which I'm doing this because I'm surprised I didn't talk about this a bit more 2 years ago when I visited it. I mean, I tweeted about it, but I guess I didn't show it. Yeah, this is one of the table arcade things for Gallagher. Funnily enough, I've seen something like this in a casino. They had like all these different game options. So for some weird reason, I found these in a few casinos, these tabletop ones. They just end up there. You know, you can play them for free there too. Bit of an odd place to find them, but hey, there you go. And then you had all these really classic arcades used. Yeah, these are all from this when I visited this place 2 years ago. I know I tweeted about it. I know I talked about it. I don't think I showed it during a sweet state. If I did, it would have been 2 years ago in June when I went. I get the feeling I probably didn't show these pictures. And if I did, I apologize if I'm doing this again. But I just want to show how cool this place is and why I'd like to go back. Better times, of course. But yeah, we got WrestleFest. I think I wanted to play that one, but I think when I got around to it, there were people playing it, so I didn't get a chance. You got others there, and look at that. And there's those kids playing FIFA in the corner. And keep in mind that this is all you can hit. I mean, from the picture, it sounds neat, but then it's the noise. It is loud as fuck in there. It is noisy. It is hot. It is atmospheric. It is really, really cool. Like, again, you've heard about these in like movies, TV series, books, and then here's one in the flesh. It's like, wow. Amazing stuff. Really cool atmosphere. And then, yeah, you can see there among all these classic arcades, there's some kids playing fucking FIFA. Oh yeah, retro bleeps and bloops everywhere. The noise of people, the noise of fans, it's hot and sweaty, you know. It's proper atmospheric, you know. And then they just sort of throw in these modern ones in between for some reason. And then there's more and more and more. The original Donkey Kong there. Oh yeah, it's they have like a shit ton of fans going. It's hot and sweaty. It's what it used to be like, you know. All these machines generate so much heat. Star Castle. I think I played this and didn't get very far. I'm not very good at these games, but I do enjoy playing them. I don't know what this is a picture of, but I think I'm just taking more shots of the place at this point because I'm just wow. And then there's a player's choice, where you could play a bunch of NES games, like a 15-in-1, but in an arcade format. Crazy. I actually did play this one briefly. And yeah, there's, I think this thing at the top, this is like a timer. And I think what happens is it counts down when you start playing. And if you want to keep playing, you have to insert more money. Now, because this is free play, it doesn't do that. But when these were originally coming out, you would have, you know, yeah, it said there, game timer. Yeah, quite massive machines, but it's like in the 80s and late 70s, you know. So what arcades used to be like, Jessica, you know, they used to be massive for one game. Nowadays, we can just play a game on a phone. But yeah, the game timer would count down, and when the timer runs out, well, that's it. But you can play all these NES games. Contra, Buster's Quest, I think that is. Mario Bros. 3, Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, and stuff like that. But again, you don't have to worry about that when you go in, because they're all set to free play. So you can just play as long as you damn well want. But it's pretty... These were a thing. And then that's it. And then there's just a picture of Old Trafford. But that's it. Those are the pictures I took of the arcade club. You know, and I was super hyped, like, the entire day. You know, I came out of the arcade club and I had a smile on my face that didn't disappear for, like, an hour. I don't think so, no. I don't think Doom was on an arcade machine. Could be wrong, but I don't think it was. Burn it down. No burning it down, Depop. You want one of these in your country? Go find your German equivalent. You know, I'm sure there's one somewhere. But yeah, this is like one of the happiest moments of my life visiting this place. I came in, I had a big smile on my face. Oh, old fucking... It's the cricket ground, not the football stadium. I mean, it's like... it's about 10 minutes walk from the football stadium, but it's the cricket ground. But yeah, one of the happiest moments of my life. This was 2 years ago. And mine is now showing off the pictures. I might have shown... Again, feel free to point out if I've shown these off 2 years ago. But I'm doing it again. Because one day, I'd like to go back. And who knows, maybe next time I go back, I stream it. Like, if I can find a way to stream it, I would totally go in and just stream myself playing these games for like 5 hours or something. I think I could do that on my phone, but it would be a bit awkward. Yeah, 2 years ago, back when we were able to go outside, I know. I think this place reopened last week, but I don't know. But the thing is, obviously, is that if I wanted to go to this one, I'd have to go on public transport, and the hours would be... It won't be the same, you know. I'm not going to go back until this is a bit more blown over. You know, it's a fair trek for me to get to this one. But yeah, that was the arcade club. It's good shit. Oh, don't be too scared. It's just me. Yeah, good memories, man. But yeah, that's the arcade club. You know, like, I think I can actually stream on my phone. Sort of. But I don't know how to set it up, and I think it'd be incredibly awkward. Ideally, I'd if I could, I'd have someone. I do it on my phone. Have someone carry around a phone, and I'd just like, hey, record me streaming games for 4 hours in this arcade. But no, I don't think we could do that. That'd be a weird little thing to do. But I'd like to go back. Oh shit! It's 2:20. Fuck! I need to get going. Folks, I need to get going and take care of real life business instead of nostalgiaing over 2 years ago to a cool place that exists, and maybe I'll revisit one day. Alright, so that's going to be it for this Sweet States. I hope you've all enjoyed and asked you good questions. I will be streaming some more Dragon Quest Heroes tonight. We'll be going to the World Tree branches and dislodging monsters and shit. And I will probably be mentioning about my plans to potentially read this during October for the next few different kind of streams to make sure everyone gets a chance to have a say on it. In that regard, I think I'll keep this down here actually for the time being. Put you over there. Bring you out again. Yeah, God damn it. My fucking mic fell down. Oh. This thing is so heavy. Oh no, don't tell me the mic is... No, don't tell me the mic stand's being weird now. No. Please, no. God, no. What is going on? What has happened to my mic stand? No! Fuck! Oh, Jesus. No, it's not that. My mic stand has lost its stability for some reason. Shit. Fucking hell. It was doing fine before, now it's wonky. Fuck. Damn it. Stay. Okay. That'll do for now, I guess. Whew. Alright. Sorry about that. My microphone, using force usually helps. Yeah, I've had to prop it up against the side of my thing, which I probably would have had anyway. So yeah, no, my point. I mentioned this earlier, biodegradable, but basically, what I would like to do for October during Horror Game Month is my plan is to potentially read from this book every single night in October. Like, there's about 36, 37 tales on this, and my idea was at the end of streams, into the night, I spend like an hour going through the stories of this Lovecraft collection. So that's a possible idea I have for October. You know, because so I could probably get through them all if I do it every night, which would be nice. Not that I can guarantee that if I get a job, but it's an idea I had. So I'll be getting people's thoughts on that to see if they're interested or not. Woodcraft Omnibus. I tried reading him in high school, but his writing was too frustrating and obtuse. Yeah. Well, I thought it was a really cool idea, because I kind of let people down last October with no horror games at all really played, and I want to make it up this year. You would be a lot more horrified if you played Hello Kitty online. Okay, great. Thanks for the suggestion, Depop. I'll take it into serious consideration. Not really. So I'll probably mention that during tonight's Dragon Quest stream to see if people are interested. I'll probably mention it during the next Doom stream to see if people are interested. So you're going to see this book quite a few times over the next few days or so. Anyway, I am going to have to head off now, so I'll catch you all tonight for those who are going to watch Dragon Quest Heroes. Otherwise, I'll see you when I see you. Thanks for watching, and have a good day.